Okay. And the TV's not on.
Are we in here?
All right, we're a little bit late. Oh, Winsong's already in here. Good, because I forgot to call her.
Howdy, Johnny.
Johnny Grubbs in the house. Why is this not coming on? We were having some technical difficulty, as usual.
We're no strangers.
By the skin of our chinny chin chin. We got it going, at least I think. Give me a wave if you can see and hear me.
Wave them on in here. Wave them on in here.
Trying to get the TV set up so that we can see your comments.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Look at there.
Old school 9x5. 5x5. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, sir.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
Okay, so.
How was your week, man?
My week was good. How was yours?
Dude. Busy, not busy, in between.
Yeah.
Also, like, it's so dry here.
We haven't had any rain in a while.
It's so dry. I hate to start this off. You're like, how about this weather, huh? But I mean, golly.
Right.
It's crazy. Disney up, boiler up. That's a cool kind of emote wave thing.
Yeah, so I got a pretty funny story this morning. I'm recording videos for this, a video that I'm going to be releasing on the YouTube channel about this run right here. And so I'm standing in front of my camera and I'm, talking to the camera. Nobody else is in here. It's early in the morning and doing my video thing. And when I make videos, I screw up a lot. Like I screw up what I'm talking about. I stutter. And I have to start over and I have to stop and think about what I'm wanting to say, and a lot of starting and stopping. And then I take care of all that in the editing. You guys don't see that in the editing usually. And after the editing, and the camera's rolling the whole time. And I get a text from Richard and he's like, hey man, your live stream is really buffering. It's really lagging. So I was like, what? So
you're live the whole time you're making the video?
This fancy camera that I have now, went live automatically without me even knowing. So I'm live on YouTube.
Dude, that's scary.
Looking like a fool.
That's a Shannon Sharp type accident waiting to happen. I know that.
So that's how my morning started. And we had a couple other little drama things that happened that I'm not going to get into. And so
I mean, hey, you live, you learn.
That's right.
You got through it.
There's a button on the camera I know I have to push when I just want to make a regular video and not go live. And
it's kind of funny too, because like I've made TikTok videos and stuff where I'll stop or pause or just like edit out. I'll be like, what are you doing, you freaking idiot? Like I'll stumble over something and I'll just have a real come to Jesus moment with myself. So like the anxiety I get imagining like inadvertently capturing one of those and just sending it out to everybody, it's like, ooh.
Here's a funny one along those lines too. We have that Moonshine for Beginners on MeWe, the MeWe platform, and it's it's got a phone app, and they don't have it anymore. They finally got rid of it. But they used to have these two buttons called Me and We, right? And when you first join the app, you don't know what those are, and you're just fooling around with stuff. Well, what it is a video. If you hit Me, it's your face-facing camera.
Both of them,
and if you hit We, it's your away-facing, right? So many times. And what happens is it takes like a 3-second video is all it does.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, it kind of does kind of a, it kind of makes it a GIF.
Right? Oh, yeah.
It's kind of what it does.
Okay.
And
just
people don't know. And so we would get inside the chat room all these GIFs, of like a toilet or, because people don't, and it has a timer and it's like a 5-second timer. And if you don't cancel it, before the
Not
5
good.
seconds is up, it just posts.
Not good.
Yeah, they finally got rid of it. It was pretty funny.
I don't blame them.
We all went through it, and new people would get on there and it happened to them. We'd be like,
Worst things have happened.
Yeah. And the good thing is, like, when someone sees it come up, they have to click on it. And when they click on it, it disappears forever after that. So it's like not on there forever. But yeah, that was pretty good. Hey, Clint, what's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? How many we got in here? What was it? 20?
Shows 12 right now.
What is the other number up top?
27 have been in and out.
Oh.
This is concurrent.
What's the top concurrent one? See that where it says?
Oh, 19. I don't know. Maybe it's 19. Maybe it's 20.
Well, welcome in either way.
Yeah.
About a baker's dozen of y'all in here with us so far. I think we'll kind of let some more people kind of pour in here.
Yeah.
How's everybody else's week going?
We've got the still running in the background. This is another of the corn liquor runs, but this is the 1.5 run. So if you've been watching the lives the last few weeks, we've done a few stripping runs. So those stripping runs have I don't know if they can. The stripping runs have gone into the still, and then I filled the still up the rest of the way with the corn liquor wash. And so we call that a 1.5 run. This is what we've pulled off so far. And it's going to be a long night for me because it is not going as quickly.
Taking some time.
As I would have hoped.
Taking some time.
So, this will be like, I spent a long night here last week, and I guess I'm going to spend a long night here this week too. But that's all right. You got to do what you got to do. So
you could just turn the gas up and just scald the shit out of it.
I mean, I could, but I have lots of plans for this batch, other videos to make, other things to make. So I can't.
You want it to like actually taste good.
I mean, I have to do the run like a real run.
Fair enough.
So
the camera angle may have switched there on us.
Yeah. Clint says, give it 10 minutes to check active concurrent counts. It'll go up. Okay. Yeah. I don't see an active concurrent counts. I just see 2 concurrent counts. One is at the top and one is at the bottom. And one says 24, the other says 23. So, whatever. And also, guys, be sure and let me know. I think I got the setting correctly. I found a setting about the commercials, about the ads. So we shouldn't be having any ads. If you do get one, let me know. It means I screwed it up again. What's up, Josh? Josh Golden, new member in MFB, if I'm not mistaken.
We salute you, Josh. Welcome aboard.
Let me know if I'm mistaken about that. But
I'm Zach, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know me. I'm here. Cyrus provides educational resources for people. I make dumb jokes. Still works in brewing. Hi, guys. What's up? What's up?
Randy is back in the house again.
Randy.
Good to see you, brother. We didn't touch base this week like we were supposed to, or last week like we were supposed to, about doing a video together. So we got to get onto that.
Oh, did you ever hear from the Ohey or whoever that was last week?
No, not yet.
Where are you, Ohey?
So yeah, Zach is the co-host and kind of my partner in crime in the ABV Society.
That's us.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think people are pretty excited today because I put out a bunch of posts that Zach, who's also an attorney.
Not an attorney. Got a law degree.
Oh, okay. My bad. And is going to give your opinion on that latest ruling.
So whenever we get there, I'm just going to kind of go through the opinion, take it step by step, explain a couple like weird little nuances, arguments from both sides. Here's what they're arguing. Here's what this side's saying, that side's saying. So we'll get into depth and we'll take some questions. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm not your attorney. For sure, I'm not your attorney. I do have a law degree that I got in Little Rock, and so I'm just going to kind of apply that and my understanding of the law that the federal courts created over there, and we'll talk about it and take some questions.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. We don't have any wine to make tonight. We don't have any mead to make tonight. We don't have any tastings to do tonight. So it's really just running this still, doing Q&A, talking about that ruling down in Texas.
I'm sure I'll wet my whistle with a little bit of this.
I mean, you're welcome to it. I think I might do like a small
don't really ever
bourbon and Coke tonight.
Oh,
since we're not doing a bunch of tasting.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Just sip on a little bit
relaxed.
of bourbon and Coke.
Normally, it's like trial by combat in here.
Right.
It's like try this.
Yeah,
try these 7 different kinds of aged bourbon
right.
on different woods and stuff.
Yeah. So that's what we got going on tonight. Got 23 people in the live right now. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the live.
And we got to keep an eye on the jar. So far today, I haven't overfilled any jars.
Pretty good. Batting 1,000.
That's a plus.
Not many people are perfect at anything, so it's pretty good numbers.
That's right. Yeah.
Man, it's kind of it's really cooking out of there in a pretty good trickle too. I'm surprised we're not having to change them out faster than we are.
Yeah, I've got a really small, like what they call a pencil lead stream going right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know you guys probably can't see it. I don't know. Maybe I can get you a view.
Get a little tight shot on that. See if we can get the editing crew to
get
production to come in on that. Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, you can
look at that.
But so nice little stream going right now. Had it going slower earlier today. I just had to speed it up a little bit anyway. So otherwise, I just don't want to be here till 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's great white noise.
Yep.
Just in case you are, I got to take a little nap in between jars.
Yep. Nice and clear. Even the very first jar.
Very clear.
And
your assistant may or may not have got the napkin wet on this one when he was moving the jar.
That's all right. We can still read it. And I didn't toss out any of the 4 shots. As many of you may know, I'm not worried about the 4 shots, so I just collect my jars. Most of the 4 shots end up in the heads anyway, and the heads don't end up being something that I save for the final product. So it's one of those things I don't really worry about.
What are you doing with the heads? Just running them again?
So I'll put them in a faints jar. Sometimes I just toss them out of laziness.
Yeah.
And I have a faints jar back there right now that probably has 3 gallons in it. And when I get to 5 gallons or so, I'll do a faints run and make a neutral spirit. Do something like 185 proof, 190 proof.
Nice.
On my column still.
Could someone, if they wanted to consume those, I mean, is it not advisable to drink just like that, or is it just kind of
so there's nothing in the entire run that is going to kill you or harm you. It's alcohol. It's all toxic to our body.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it does the things it does to us that we like. It's toxic. And some alcohols are just more astringent and they're sharper. The flavors are harder. And so we toss out the heads. A lot of people will claim that that is the reason for hangovers. If you make real clean cuts, you don't have any hangovers. I don't know how true that is, but I do know that if you're real strict with your cuts, you end up with a better final product.
Yeah. Okay.
But
maybe
again,
less hangover, maybe less undesirable flavor.
Right. You can drink everything from start to beginning. Just it doesn't all taste good.
Okay.
Especially when you get down in the tails. There's some funky tasting stuff down in the tails. But Paul McKinley's in the house. Good to see you, brother.
Paul McKinley.
And we are running, this is a 1.5 run of the corn liquor that we've been doing each week. Been making the stripping runs. Now we're doing a 1.5 run. And then I will also do a 1 and done run with that same batch. And I will also do a double distillation of that same batch. And then I'll make a YouTube video that I'm going to taste each one. In fact, I might get you in on that too and just do a tasting and see what we can pull out of what is the difference taste wise in a single pot still run, a double distillation and a 1.5 run.
Yeah.
So that's what we're running right now, the 1.5 run.
Howdy, Rob.
Yeah, Randy, I'm the same way. 4 shots heads, I treat them all the same. I used to toss out a little bit of the beginning, like, what we call the 4 shots. I used to do that until I really did my research on the methanol issue and realized that's not a problem. So I don't worry about 4 shots anymore.
I think when I made those like first initial runs a few years ago, we ran a 5 gallon of mash, and I think me and my buddy took about a shot and a half or so off, and just got rid of that. It's kind of like an old wives' tale thing,
right?
Probably.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is kind of like almost myth.
Yeah.
I think people will argue with me about that, and that's fine if you disagree. I'm cool with it.
We were convinced from our limited reading of the interwebs that we wouldn't go blind if we consumed it.
Right. Yeah. And when you're first starting out, you're really kind of scared about it to begin with.
You're scared about
it. So
everything,
you're overcautious about everything. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, because I think that just stems from when you're starting off and you just don't really know much about anything, you're scared of everything due to like a lack of knowledge.
Right.
I was just petrified.
Yeah, and then add onto that these stories about people going blind and being killed and all that kind of stuff.
Dude, internet's a crazy place too. It's like
that's right.
It's a wild place. So you get on there, it's like I'm just trying to learn how to make moonshine. And the next thing I know, I'm on this like, don't drink the first part of the run. You will die. I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to die.
My own wife disagrees. Yeah, that's right. All the time, actually.
About more than just this issue.
That's right. and we're okay with it. It's fine. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to get a Coke. Do you want anything,
dude? Yeah.
You want a Coke?
I'm gonna
a glass and an ice cube.
We'll wet our whistles and talk about the case a little bit.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I think there's been a lot of talk around the interweb about that case. And
what are they? I mean, what's the public opinion? What is everyone thinking, saying?
So everyone is saying, what does this mean?
Okay,
like we don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah, I mean there are opinions out there, and I'll get into what my questions are. Like, what does it mean in this way versus that?
Sure.
And I'll have some questions, and I'm sure some of the other folks in the chat will have some questions for you also.
Yeah, just kind of a precursor. It's it's a good case. It's good law. It was good order. And I think that the opinion was well thought out, and I think that that judge did a good job of conveying, okay, here were the issues presented, and here's just kind of the clear cut, this is how I'm going on this, and this is the case law.
Yeah, so just in case there might be someone in the chat that doesn't know what we're talking about.
What's up, Lucky D?
Just go over exactly what is it we're talking about.
Want me to start into it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it.
All right. To chime in, I'm going to read these before I start. What's up, Lucky D? Rick, hello and cheers, brother. All right, for those of you just kind of coming in, we are going to get some clarity on Hobby Distillers Association v. Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau. This is a 2024 case. The opinion came down in July. I will, before I get too far into it, say that there was a 14-day period where the defendants in this case, which would be the Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, were given a little bit of time to file an appeal. I don't see that appeal was ever filed or taken up. I may or may not be wrong about that due to the limits of what I can see. That said, this case was brought by a group a lot similar to the ABV Society. It's exactly the type of group that we have here that you can be a part of. The difference is that group is about 1,300 people, well established, and they said, hey, let's take up a legal issue, which was challenging 2 federal statutes. Okay, there was a lot to do about standing before anything was ever even heard. I'm not going to go through all that. That's kind of nitty gritty. They were made to kind of overcome some hurdles and barriers before they got to present their issue. Once they did, they were in agreement, the distillers and the feds, that there wasn't any question of fact. We're not disagreeing about any of the facts here. We are just, you're seeking an injunction, which is the kind of non-legalese way to say injunction is we want you to do something. And what they were seeking here was, we want you to tell us that these statutes are, we're saying that they're unconstitutional and they're not enforceable. So the specific statutes,
and so the asking for the injunction, does that mean they're asking the court to agree with them? Is that
they're asking the court to make a legal finding that these statutes aren't enforceable because they are unconstitutional.
Okay.
So they're saying strike down these laws as unconstitutional. That way they can't be enforced against us. The two statutes specifically were 26 U.S.C. Section 5178A1B. No distilled spirit plants for the production of distilled spirit shall be located in any dwelling, house, in any shed, yard, or enclosure connected with any dwelling house, or on a board, any vessel or boat, or any premises where beer or wine is made or produced, or liquors of any description are retailed, or on premises where any other business is carried on, except when authorized under subsection B. I'm not going to read to you the long section B there, but so that was on the books since 1868. Okay, long standing. Yeah, long.
This is not a prohibition thing.
This is a long-standing federal statute that for 160 years, or thereabout, prohibited people from making.
I'll let you pour your own
homebrewing. And so it's really cool. The group that brought this, there were four main guys. Three of them were distillers, and one of them was a winemaker. And they got their group together and got an attorney hired and used some of their money to bring this. And so they land in federal court in Texas. Now, that district is Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. I know that's super weird. It just kind of goes down here. We're in the 8th, so it goes north of here. And so if you're in Texas, Mississippi, or Louisiana, which I know some of you are, this is case law in your district. These federal statutes were struck down as unconstitutional. The government was trying to say this was for this will infringe on our right to tax. We have a right to tax. We have a right to regulate interstate commerce. And the court goes, no. That's a broad argument, and these people are home distillers, and they went through this long list of reasons why that wasn't really a good argument, or at least not in the court's opinion that was a good argument. I did find it funny as I was reading down through this case. They are taking up that issue of wanting to. The government says, "Well, we want to protect people. We don't want stuff getting released out into the public that's going to harm them." And they start going down. And he says, "Well, the four plaintiffs that I have in front of me," and he starts going through their resumes. This guy's been distilling this long, really knowledgeable. The court, in its opinion, wrote that one of the plaintiffs was found to be a bourbon steward. Right. So, they're kind of. It's kind of funny that there's a federal court kind of applauding this home brewer, saying, right, hey, these guys know what they're doing. Right. That's in a nutshell what happened. They struck down these two statutes. One was on the books since 1868 that basically governed where you can have a still, and the other one, let me go back to it here. So the other one was the enforcement part of it that made it a felony. Okay, so up to a $10,000 fine and 5 years in jail. It said, no, hey, can't do that. Not going to be enforceable, unconstitutional. So for those of you, again, that live in Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, that's good law for you. Everybody else, I'm assuming, well, what's that mean for me?
Yeah. Well, now, before you get into that side of it,
yeah,
talking about the districts and all that,
sure.
I would like, and folks, if you've got some questions that you have, specific questions about this, write them in there. We'll try and get to them. So one of my early understandings of this was that because it was this association that brought the case, that doesn't mean that only the members of this association are protected under this injunction, right?
No.
It means everybody.
Well, so it would mean similarly advantaged people. That's how you would interpret that. They've sought this injunction for themselves, right? But when the federal court says, well, this is unconstitutional, unenforceable, well, everyone else takes that to mean, okay, well, great. Right. Thanks for doing all the legwork for us. As long as we're now, if you're got a warehouse out in the middle of nowhere and you're bottling and exporting things out of the country and just have some huge operation, you're probably going to be dissimilar from the plaintiffs in this case, and you're probably not going to be, at that point, you're going to be some tax problems, some stuff like that. When you talk about selling.
Yeah, So just somebody in their garage making it for them and their buddies.
Shed,
is probably similar.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they're not in an association of some sort.
Yeah. And they talk about that in this case. They talk about the scope of the type of people that they're talking about when they're talking about enforcing or not enforcing this statute. So, yeah, I mean, as long as you're not out there selling in these 3 states and, but again, if you're outside of those 3 states, take a sip of this. This is the breakfast cereal bourbon, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you've been following the lives, you've watched us doing the taste test. I bottled some.
So good.
And
crazy good.
Yeah. Turned out really good.
So yeah, that's what we're talking about here is just kind of what all of us, I'm sure would agree that is just kind of the harmless act and hobby of making, distilling, vintning. But yeah, so, okay. What does that mean? I'm seeing it in the chat already. Is it legal here in West Virginia? Yeah, so if you're not in one of those 3 states, well, it's compelling parallel case law. Being that it was a federal or a constitutional question that was answered by thank you for the $4.99, Andre. Being that thanks, it was
Andre. Appreciate it.
Decided over here. Here's this clear-cut issue. There are issues like this all over that before they get to the top levels at the Supreme Court, they're decided by federal courts, and sometimes they have different outcomes. Sad to say, but it's going to depend a lot on the type of judge you get and how they interpret the law. If you're in a federal court somewhere else and your attorney goes, hey, look at this, they're going to go, oh, okay, down in Texas, okay, awesome, okay, and they're supposed to consider it, okay, they're going to look at that and try to dig through the opinion and discern what they discern and look how they evaluated current case law, but it's not binding. It's not Supreme Court case law or the Constitution that must be followed. It's just a compelling, cool thing for another court to look at.
Right. So I guess I would ask, does that mean that, I guess it would also depend on like the aggressiveness of an attorney, of a prosecutor. Like, do they want to go after this now that this ruling exists?
If they know about it, maybe, probably they could be dissuaded. But this is kind of one of, like, I'm going to give you my tort professor, Professor Oliver's answer to when he would get, like, someone would try to pin him down on what is this? I don't know, maybe, possibly. I would think that it is absolutely, and it is. I don't think this, it is. It is great case law in federal courts that I think dissuades those eager beaver prosecutors, or it's just, I mean, my honest opinion is not on anyone's radar. These are not the fish that they're trying to fry. This Texas case, this federal court case, makes it easier.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing, because as many of us already know, like, the cops aren't out there trying to bust home distillers.
No.
They're just not out there doing it. As long as you're not selling, right?
Yeah.
If you're out there selling, then you've opened yourself up to some risk. But then that's the same with this case. This case is the same way. If you're not selling, it's good news for you.
These were simply two federal statutes that said you can't do this in a home. You can't do this in a business where there's other stuff going on. And this group just kind of reached out, and they had a great outcome. And the answer handed down by the federal court was they're right. This is not under the government's purview for their ability to tax or implement tax or regulate interstate commerce.
Right.
And so I would say, generally speaking, all in all, awesome, great case law down there, especially in those 3 states. If you're in those 3 states, good for you.
Yeah.
If you're not, also good for you. We're going to look at this. We're going to kind of continue to follow it. I think it just makes it less likely that it gives you more legal ammunition to say, hey, look at this case. Look how similar these facts are. We know this is in a different jurisdiction, but just look what they did over here.
Right.
And depending on the judge that's hearing the issue, who knows? Ooh, good look back on that. That's almost full.
Hey, is there? I know I saw some of the admins, the MeWe admins in here. Would you, if you're in here, would you go grab an invite link from the MeWe group and drop it in here for Hawk Spirit Weaver? He's trying to get in the group. Says it's not working. I think, Hawk, you might be trying to join the Moonshiners Academy, which I've been having problems with that website the last, I don't know, couple of weeks. And if that's the one you're trying, it's not the same as the Moonshine for Beginners group that we're talking about. It's a different platform. So if somebody would drop a link, actually, I think maybe I'm the only one that can drop links in there. I don't know. Anyway, so I'll grab a link for you before the live is over, Hawk. Just give me a few minutes. So one of the other things I was thinking about it, there was the issue of who does this apply to? You've covered that it's, specifically just for those 3 states because that's the district it was adjudicated in.
It's the federal case law in that federal district.
So if you're in that district, it's almost like you're golden, right?
But, yeah.
But does that mean, like, federally there's still a prohibition? Or is it the TTB is the only one with that prohibition on home distilling? So
I would look, honestly, I would look for Alcohol, Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau to put out some kind of directive. If their position is, and again, I'm not saying that they filed an appeal, so maybe their position is, okay, all right, hey, thanks for letting us know, appreciate this, and we'll put out a directive, a memorandum, and kind of talk about this. And
appreciate it.
That's what I would expect them to do. That's what I hope they do. Everyone knows confusion creates chaos, and I hope that they would release a memorandum about this, and it's possible that they have. That's something that I can go back and look at. But I would think once they've kind of been shut down over in one district that they wouldn't continue to push that issue live.
Some kind of warning. I'm getting a bit rate warning. I hope the live stream is going okay for you folks. I'm getting these warnings on my end that, like, maybe Maybe it's not streaming real well, but there isn't anything I can do for it, I don't think.
So, all that to say, I think that it took, and again, you all out there may know somebody who was charged with some sort of manufacturing or operation charge, whether that's a federal law on the books or it's a state law. And again, I should touch on, if they found the federal law unconstitutional, that doesn't mean that they're finding similar state laws unconstitutional. They could. They probably likely are. But that wasn't put in front of them, and that wasn't the issue at hand in that case.
Hey, Lucky D, I just made you a moderator for the Still in the Clear live streams, so appreciate you, brother.
Did anyone in the chat have any questions about that case? I mean, I think the base that you can take out of it is that, if the danger level is maxed out up here and is, minimummed out right here, we went from about right here to about right here. I mean, the proof's kind of in the pudding, as far as our laws being enforced that are technically on the book. Everyone knows there's some old funky laws on the books that are just, they're still on there, but they're not enforced.
That's kind of like here in Arkansas. It's illegal to be in possession of a still, period.
Yeah.
I'm not even allowed to have a still. And I've got 18 of them in this place.
Yeah.
Sell them.
It's kind of one of those, I feel like. Don't care. I feel like it's one of those laws become unenforceable when they are rarely used. So I'd almost say that it's on the fringes of becoming kind of one of those. My state says it defers to federal law. If fed law is repeated, I should be good. If you mean repealed, yeah. So, Jason, it depends where you live. If you're in Texas, Louisiana, or Mississippi, yeah, pretty safe bet there. If you're in another one, also probably still a pretty safe bet. I'm not saying that someone wouldn't harass you or, give you a hard time or kind of look at you and go, yeah, that's, but, yeah, I would say kind of proof's in the pudding, right?
Right.
I know a lot of people that distill and make wine, and I've never seen any of them.
Thank you.
Good
Bailey's point.
Okay.
Where'd the big jar go?
Clinton said Colorado technically has a law in the books that says you cannot own a router for internet, as they outlawed. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff like that. There's one downtown Fort Smith. While coming across the Garrison Bridge, you're supposed to honk, and that goes back to in the old days when they were coming across the bridge before, I guess, headlights and things like that you have to let people know you're coming, and so it's just, there's all kinds of weird stuff like that. Put Midnight on as a mod too, please.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, Jason, I remember you. I remember the X's that you spelled everything with last week. I remember you being down there. Yeah, you're in good shape. He said, Paul said, now I've narrowed down my states to retire into 3. Yeah, I mean, they're already, pretty cool, but that definitely does add an edge there. And
34. So we are about 2. We've collected about 2 gallons, and we're at 134 proof. This is jar number 12.
Really, 134, huh?
Stripping run.
I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. Yeah, it's holding together pretty good here.
And so I've done enough corn liquor that I really don't have to separate out these runs and number these jars and do the whole process of making my cuts and all that, because this particular recipe I've done so many times, I could probably make my cuts on the run just by tasting my finger as it's going. But because of the video I'm making, and one of the things that the beginners always have a hard time with is which portion when do I cut, when do I pull off my heads, when do I know I'm in my tails? And so I'm doing this because this is the best way for the beginner. Let me change the view here. This is the best way for the beginner to learn how to make your cuts. You collect in separate jars. You put a towel over them. You let them breathe overnight. The next day, you start doing your tasting. You start in the middle of the run and start tasting toward the tails. You start tasting and smelling until you get to the point where you don't really like the taste and the smell. Then now you know you're in your tails. And then you go back to the middle. You start tasting up toward the heads, doing the same thing until you find the place where it gets to where you don't like it anymore. And those are your cuts. And the reason you start in the middle and work to the tails first is because you don't want to burn out your palate. You don't want to start in the tails or the heads. You want to start in the hearts because that's the part you're going to like the most. And you're going to get that flavor first. Work your way down to the tails as to not burn out your palate, and then work your way to the heads. So don't start with your heads and work your way down to the tails. By the time you get to the hearts, your palate's burnt out anyway. So that's why I'm numbering and collecting the jars like I am on this recipe, so that I can do that explanation in an upcoming video. So,
yeah, Forrester, I read your comment in its entirety. I have no idea what you mean. You reading that?
Riding mules can actually save the heart of a broken man who has gone to the bottle of the bottom and not coming back. You need to address this, please. Power of the donkey or mule, not just booze. I mean, I really only have one thing to say about that. Yeah, I agree. I don't know what it means. I'll agree with you.
I know what all those words mean separately, but when you put them together the way that you did, I don't have a clue what you're talking about, Yam, but I'm here for it. Everybody loves Windsong. Yeah, absolutely. That's how I learned.
Okay.
Yam is on the bot. Maybe, yeah, I think Yam, did you wanna share something with the group? Thank you, brothers. You're welcome, brother.
I'm trying to find Midnight so I can add him. Is he?
Scroll back up there.
He's in there somewhere. Probably said hi. He might just be lurking too. He might have.
Lurker.
Is there a way to go to see all the people that are in the stream?
Haven't seen him in there.
Hillbilly Glass Barrels is in there. Okay. Hey, Richard's watching. I don't know how long you've been. I don't know how long you've been in the live, Richard. I know you're at work, but we've already had the discussion about the.
You can recap it. Watch the live back later. Are they able to do that?
Yeah, we do. We have a replay. I allow replay of the lives. So
nice.
If you do the @ and type in the name, if it comes up there. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. I will just try it.
No.
Okay, he's not in here. I can do that later though for your Windsong.
I always think of Tommy Boy. Every time I see Richard pop up in the chat. Richard.
Oh goodness, Jason, it's good to see you in here, brother.
How long does a mash stay good if you open ferment? That is going to be probably a case by case. What's your environment?
So yeah, probably you've easily got a couple of weeks, and then after a couple of weeks, especially if you're in a warmer environment, you'll start getting some growth. But the truth is, like a lactobacillus infection, if you get that, it hasn't hurt. Pardon me. It hasn't hurt anything yet.
How do you say that?
Lactobacillus.
Lactobacillus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or For short, people call it lacto.
I'm going to bookmark that one for later. You're never going to see it coming.
Yeah.
Lactobacillus.
So if it's an open ferment, you've easily got a couple of weeks, and you could probably stretch that into 3 or 4 weeks. And then you really want to think about getting it ran. You're going to start getting some stuff growing in. If it's a closed ferment, you've got almost an unlimited time, especially if you ferment it off the grain.
Yeah.
In fact, Lucky is talking about Joe Stillwater, one of the admins in the Moonshine for Beginners group. He had one for 12 years, ran it, and it was still good. And I think it was a brandy, wasn't it, Lucky?
What do you do? Just kind of forget about it?
Yeah, he said he found it under a stairwell or something, if I'm not mistaken, in a closet under a stairwell.
Man, dude, what a cool find.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you had one. You ran, not the breakfast cereal. It was a different one that you ran recently that had been in a closed ferment for a few months.
Yeah, 5 or 6 months.
I can't remember which one it was. Maybe just some corn.
Oh yeah, Bailey nailed it. It was the George Washington rye.
George Washington rye. Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's all just condition depending.
Yeah, and if it's sealed, it's just going to last forever.
I think it was a plum brandy.
Maybe I shouldn't say forever, but it's going to last a really long time. Clinton says, I purposefully had let my rum sit on airlock for the past 6 months to let it build up some more flavor. Yep. Yeah, I've got that rum that we made on live a few weeks back.
Yep.
Probably going to run that one next week. And I don't think it's going to finish out. I think,
crazy the color on that.
Yeah, it's really dark. And
grab it for them to look at.
I think it's going to stop at 1.020, which I'm okay with. But I did add that glucose. I don't know who's in here who remembers. I added glucose to see if I could get it to finish out to 1.000. But it has stopped, and I think it's 1.020, and I'm okay with that. In
Super
fact,
dark.
I think it was Clinton that was saying when we were talking about that last 20 gravity points is good for the rum anyway.
1058, like as in leaving it in.
Yeah.
Instead
of trying to get it to finish out.
I had a guy tell me the other day. He was asking me about some wine stuff, and he said, "Well, he said I can't get it." What did he say? If I don't get it under 1, even though I think it's done, it's not done. And I'm kind of talking to him a little bit about unfermentable sugars and, depending on, how much alcohol he made, they're getting to that high threshold where you just can't eat it all up. And so, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had rum airlocked up since January of 2024. We will see how it goes. Lucky, you had it. Okay, run it for the election. That way you can have something.
Right.
We should do an election night live or something.
Wait, isn't that Tuesday?
It's just us. Like what I would do at my house, which is like flip the news on every 30 or 45 minutes and be like, oh shit, and then just talk about something else.
We could do fake poll results and
this bourbon kicks ass. We're all still screwed. This bourbon is great though.
10% of the Arkansas vote is in. They all say the breakfast cereal bourbon rocks. That's funny.
Is there a limit on sour mash generations you should go?
I think the limit usually ends up being your preference, but I have heard of people going 15 generations. And I think it also depends on how you do it. Are you recycling all the grain? How often are you recycling the grain from the generations? But it's hard to, the words, where is that? The words should. That's difficult. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really like that word, whether
Yeah.
you should or whether you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, most of it is up to you. So
It's like, I feel like, too, we're kind of, 99% of the time we're going to make alcohol. We're just trying to make better alcohol. And a lot of these little niche questions, like Cyrus is saying, just come down to preference. What do you like in the taste of your finished product versus what someone else might?
mm-hmm.
I like drier wines. Some people like sweeter wines.
Yeah.
Some people like more of a alcohol that burns and bites and that has a bunch of taste in it. Some people like, oh man, it's smooth as water.
Right.
I mean, that's, what are you going for?
Mm-hmm. Some people will tell you should only distill with a copper still. Some
people probably swear by an aluminum keg they got.
Right.
I mean, I think the first run I ever made out of was out of a beer keg.
Yeah.
A home distiller can do what he wants.
That's
You're damn
right,
Randy.
That's exactly right.
You're damn right.
Well, and even like we're doing a 1.5 run. Some people won't do that. Some people will only do double distillations. I prefer to do single pot runs. I think we've talked about this before, but like so much of it just comes down to your preference.
I really am.
What yeast should you use?
Yeah.
The one you like.
What you like, what you work, that's good with your recipe. If you've done the same thing, if you've made the same run 5 or 6 times and it's where you like it, don't do anything drastically different than what you've been doing. I mean, just kind of make those small changes yourself and just see what you like.
Yeah. I got you, Lee. I wasn't trying to make it sound like it was your fault for using the word. It's just that, that's.
What do you say?
He was apologizing for the wording. It's not your fault, Lee. My third favorite is tuber.
My third favorite YouTuber.
Oh, okay. Terry says, I used to do double distillation. My current setup I'm happy with, one and done. Yeah. And Terry, you're running a thumper too with yours, if I'm not mistaken.
Thumper.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I prefer not to use a thumper.
Yeah.
Like so much of it is just what do you like?
I've really kind of started admiring the columns like you've been using.
Yeah. The column stills are really versatile. John Johnson, the Beaver 18-gallon football still. Yeah, it's worth it. If you're starting out and it's your first still, the Beaver is a great place to start. And if you're going to go with a Beaver, go with the football style, or as we call it in the MFB group, the Lombardi Beaver. So
the Lombardi.
Yeah, because it's got that football shape like the trophy. But yeah, it's a good choice. You'll be happy with it.
Toast your corn, he says. Take a page out of Randy's book. Yeah, I mean, we were just having a conversation the other day where I pretty much kind of came to the assessment that sometimes I like corn that's like uncut and harsh and just like, woo! Kind of, I mean, and that's a special, I'm in the mood for that few times a year. Like a wake you up on New Year's or something like that. But I mean, most generally, I like the kind of smoother, woody.
I think I need to adjust that.
This breakfast bourbon, honestly, would be a tremendous daily driver as far as just being smooth, tasting good.
I'll swap out this couple of these ice jugs.
Terry, that's all right, brother. Terry, they talk about, toast your barley, unmalted, and it will give you the richest chocolate flavor you'll ever want. Take it straw color in a pan. Yeah. Yeah, so welcome into those that are just kind of joining us here. Like Lucky was telling Terry there, we talked about that legal case. You can go back and rewatch the live after we get done. You'll be able to kind of rewatch the whole thing. But if there's any questions about that, you can shoot them in throughout the live, and I'll kind of sprinkle stuff in here and there if you guys are still having some questions. Changing out the ice.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a long run.
Welcome. What do you? How are you guys watching us? Do any of y'all get us up on like a TV that's got the YouTube app? You can just kind of zoom us out or make our screen bigger. Mostly phones. I'm seeing also. I see a lot of the same guys. Yeah, YouTube. See a lot of the same guys every week, but some of you guys that are just kind of new or coming in or popping in, tell us where you're from. I always get a kick out of. We get Australia, and we get Louisiana, all over. Phone, computer, got you on the big screen. See, big screen I feel like would be the way to go in the bar, yeah. Laptop for, dude.
My ugly mug on a big screen.
North Georgia, Delaware, North Carolina. It's badass. It's cool to see y'all all over coming in, hanging out. Let us know what questions you got. What do you got working? What do you like? Where are you from? Louisiana, go Tide. See, there's that damn Geaux again, Jason. Nah, I don't care how you spell things, brother. Just glad you're here. PNW, Ohio. Earth. I like that answer, Terry.
Hey, Jim's in the house. Good to see you, brother.
Blue corn and figs. Woo! Man, what's that going to be like?
I don't know. Never made one.
That's kind of cool. Ship us some, buddy. We'll try it on stream. Nebraska. Southern Indiana. I like how you distinguish that too. Like I ain't one of those guys from Northern Indiana. I'm damn Southern Indiana over here. You always know. It's like sometimes I'll run into a guy over here and they'll like shout out their county if you ask them where they're from. Right. They won't give you their city. They'll be like, I'm from Scott County, Sevier County.
I'm from the 479.
Yeah, it's like a 501 479 thing. Dark Lion's got some banana mash that's failing, but gonna run it anyways on Saturday. And I got
Siebert's in the house. Go ahead.
June 4. Dark Lion, why do you think it's failing?
From soda.
Not eating up all your sugar. What's going on with it? Great frozen. Bud. Hey, wait up here in Minnesota, bud. It's good to have you in here, pal. You betcha. Hello, Moonshiners. Hello, John Boss. Kentucky.
Yeah, John, lots of recipes lost to time for sure.
Yep. Appreciate all y'all commenting in here. Go ahead and like it, share it too. Some more of us in here. John Johnson just wish vanilla is made from hickory king corn. John, dude, if you ever got to taste it and try it, just try to remember what that was like and get as close as you can, man. Run it and try it. Pretty damn flat.
I've got a deal of Angel Yellow Label, and I haven't used it yet. Hell, it might not be any good. I've had it for like 2 years now, but I was gonna try it. Angel Yellow Label. So like,
what is that?
It's this yeast that apparently, now I've never used it, so I can't speak to it much, but it will by Bailey tomorrow or Saturday. Okay. It will convert your starches and eat the sugar. That's what I've heard. So I don't know. There's bound to be. So
that's cool.
Have you found that to be the case when you were using the yellow label Angel?
First was a pH crash. Temp changed in North Georgia. I readjusted so many times with baking soda. I think it's salty. Just no matter what I do, can't get it to finish out. Specific gravity was 1090. Now it's 1040. Man, I don't know. You got any advice? He's saying I'm just going to run it.
Yeah, I mean,
how many gallons are you talking about?
To 1040. pH crash, then temp changed. I mean, so you got 4 steps. First thing you do is you check the SG. Obviously, you've already done that. Mm-hmm. Then you check temperature. Those are the 2 most common things. And then you check pH. You adjust the pH up if it needs it. And then after that, you probably have unfermentable sugars if you know that there was plenty of nutrient. And so if all those 4 things you've checked off the list and it still won't do anything, then it's just got unfermentable sugars.
Yeah.
At least that's how I look at it. Like once I go through that 4-step process and nothing changes, I can't get it to finish out, I just run it.
John, man, sorry to hear that, buddy. Just use that corn that you were talking about. Play with your sugar. Just try to recreate it. You know, there's not a lot of ingredients in, so get with your dad and have him taste yours and get it close. You can. Yep.
Yeah, that's right, Lucky.
If not, yeast will slow down in cold, but takes longer to finish. Yeah. Temp pH, unfermentable sugars. Put yeast nutrient in. Yeah. Yeast nutrients saved me a few times. But again, I'm making wine, so I'm a little easier to.
Yeah, and he started at 1090. So it's unlikely that, my opinion, it's unlikely that a nutrient is going to do that much because you're doing bananas and well, I'm also assuming you left the peels.
I wonder if you put any pectic or anything in there. Pectic enzyme.
I don't know.
Did you put any pectic enzyme in it? I don't know if that's on the bananas. I don't know if it.
I don't either. I imagine it would make a bit of a difference.
So I don't think it would hurt it.
Right.
Yes, it works great. Yep. So, man, welcome in. We're up to 40 of y'all in here now. Hey, if y'all aren't subscribed to Cyrus's channel here, Still in the Clear, subscribe. That helps us out, lets us know what you guys are interested in, what you like. We read your comments. So, 27 bananas. That's so specific.
Sounds like the name of a band.
Yeah. 27 bananas. You need to put that on the label, brother. That's got a good ring to it.
That's right. 27
bananas, no peels. Pectic enzyme was put in. 20 pounds of sugar. How many gallons are you making? 20 pounds of sugar is a lot. That's not if you're making, I guess, 15 or 10.
Well, I think he said his starting gravity was 1090.
1090, okay. I made a batch of corn liquor. Bad attempt of converting starch, adding sugar and let it go. After I ran it, added back sets, 2 same grains, put yellow and angel yeast, fermented that, and ran it. Yeah,
Terry, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Bananas can be tough to get a real accurate reading. So it's I mean, is your wash almost kind of syrupy, kind of thick, more than like if you were running like a corn liquor or something like that? Because that means that that hydrometer is floating.
Yeah, it's displaced a little bit.
Yeah, and so you may actually be a little lower than your reading. I had that problem with the last banana I did.
I was trying to pull back. I remember we had talked about that, and you were telling me there was something funky with banana in that regard.
Bananas aren't, to me, bananas aren't easy. No.
Hard to work with. And,
yeah.
But I mean, you know, it's kind of crazy too how much sugar they have in them. Have you ever have you ever just peeled a banana and threw it in like a skillet with some butter and seared it?
No,
dude, they get so sweet. It is it's a dessert. It's
like caramelized.
It caramelizes the banana and it turns like this brown, like caramely looking color, and it's like dessert.
Yeah.
Really good.
That sounds good. I'll have to try it.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I could still strain it and get pretty liquid. Oh, okay, ran it through a strainer. For me, I feel like, and I could be absolutely wrong about this because I'm not sure really how it breaks down. I know it's keen to like foam and stuff, but I would almost always kind of two-stage a banana. I feel like just because it's so
not a bad idea.
Pulpy,
yeah.
Pulpy's not the right. Gotta be patient. Okay, Hillbilly Glasses. Is that Randy? Terry, sorry. Gotta be patient. My first banana mash foamed up and blew the lid off the pot. I don't run till everything drops out and I can pull just the liquid, yeah. I don't like having anything other than liquid. We talked about that kind of. Banana Foster, just add vanilla and ice cream. Could be good, actually.
36 people in the live or 38. I don't know which.
Depending on which number you're looking 35. At.
Well, so next week will be the rum, I think. And don't have it. We'll have some stuff to bottle next week for sure. We've got a wine to bottle, and we've got a mead that'll be ready to bottle. And I think I'm going to back sweeten both of those and probably do it the day before so that we can just get right into bottling.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to put out a video on my TikTok when I bottle the holiday wine.
Yeah.
That's kind of getting close to coming
Where
off.
did you land on that? Like, what all did you add to it?
So the holiday wine, there's two separate, I think they're 6.5 gallon carboys. Or 7, I don't know. They're those odd, obscure, like kind of bigger carboys I have.
6.5.
Yeah, I think they're 6.5. And so anyway, I have 2 of those filled, and I had, I don't know, it was 6 gallons of apple cider, and then like 5.5-ish gallons of apple juice, and packet of yeast a piece. And then I'd have to go back and look at my notes at the house to be for sure. But there was a mixture of that dextrose and the granulated sugar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember
and
that.
the weights were different on that. I was kind of playing with those to see kind of how different they would be.
Yeah, I was kind of asking about the you had talked about using maybe some flavoring.
Oh, yeah, I haven't yet. I'm still letting it. It's in the carboys, and I haven't added anything to it at all. I need to. I'm gonna go with the vanilla and the cinnamon, and I'm gonna bag it and just kind of taste like every. I don't know. Like, what do you think? Every few hours? Is it that quick, or is it like an everyday type on the cinnamon?
Yeah, if you're using sticks, I would like check it in the morning. Check it at night.
It's kind of what I was thinking. And then what was the other? We were talking about the extract. We were thinking about adding. There was another one.
You had talked about vanilla and
cinnamon,
and
there was another one you recommended. You thought might be kind of a good holiday flavor.
I don't even remember now.
I don't know, something. I don't know, but there may be some like nutmeg or some.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
I'll just kind of play with. There's enough of it that where I think I can add a little bit of this and that and not ruin it, or at least be able to cover it up later if I want to.
Yeah. Oh, Scott. Yeah, this shirt is on sale at stillintheclear.com.
I do a lot of corn stuff.
And that shirt comes from when I used to do lives. I don't know. I guess it's been over a year. We used to do lives every week. And somebody was asking about the recipe I was doing, and I was just kind of rambling. I said, I do a lot of corn stuff. And somebody in the Chat goes,
clip that shit.
That's a shirt. so I made it a shirt. But yeah, it's on the website there, Scott.
Y'all ever give any thought to a cranberry juice brandy? I have a pineapple cranberry wine going right now that I'm going to see. I'm going to see what it's like when it finishes up, and it may be one that I hand off to Cyrus and go, "Hey, run this through the still, see what happens."
Hell yeah, let's do it.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about trying to maybe I might run that one, depending on if it doesn't end up where I want it to be, just at a wine level.
Yeah,
make sure to run it. But I mean, I think once you run it, you're not really going to pull any of that.
No, people always expect much more of the fruity flavor to come through on the still, and
not there.
It doesn't.
It's not there when you put it in.
Yeah, it's just subtle. It's just very subtle.
Yeah. Most of the flavoring comes on the back end on most of that kind of stuff, unless you're, even if you're doing wood, I mean, you're getting pretty much everything on the back. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm kind of messing with those flavors right now. I don't know if I'm going to stay wine with them or kind of go the brandy route. I would. Okay.
You say you got a 6-gallon going?
Yeah, and there's a ton of alcohol in it too. That's that one that started off with that real high specific gravity over here.
We could run it in one of those little 5-gallon stills.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Those stills do real well on brandies.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one that started off with like 115 or something like that. It was like way up there.
Yeah,
Added a bunch of sugar to it. Had a good ferment going. It was happy. I just about quit brandies. Run a good corn liquor, post flavor if needed. Yeah.
I mean, Scott, I'm with you. I don't do many brandies. I like whiskeys myself. Whiskeys and mountain brandies. But straight brandies, I just don't do much of.
Chris, you're about to get kind of a non-answer. Chris Horner asked, in your opinion, what's the best wood?
For my preference, I like oak, but it's probably just because that's mostly what I've used is oak. Now, I did get some cherry wood in the shop that I'm going to start doing some experiments with and do some toasting and some charring experiments. And, if they turn out well, I might put them on the website for folks to buy. But, oak.
Dude, John, throw it in here. Give it to the chat.
Yeah, John, for sure. If you want to share recipes, do it. And John, if you
pecan, pecan.
I don't notice the name, John, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you're a member of Moonshine for Beginners. And Lucky D or Winsong will drop an invite. But if you go to Moonshine for Beginners, it's our group that most everybody in the chat hangs out in. We have a recipe section there, and if you want to share any of your recipes, it's a great place to do it and to see a bunch of other recipes too. So, David Anderson's in the house.
What's up, David? Hillbilly.
Terry's got cherry lids too. That's awesome.
I didn't realize that they had the cherry.
Yeah, I might get some of those from you too, Terry. Let's see.
There you go. Lucky got that put in there.
Sour cherry mountain brandy. Nice.
Sour cherry mountain brandy. On some cherry wood.
Okay. I got to stop. That's 2 glasses.
Uh-oh.
That's good stuff.
It is really good.
I got to get me a bottle of water, though. It'll keep me from reaching for that glass.
It's really good. Yeah, I think I'm probably going
to have as much. You live like 3 minutes from here.
I'm literally right down the street. No, I think I'm not going to have another. I think I'm going to call it quits, too.
You want a water?
No, I don't need a water right now. I think I'm just going to pour a little Coke in here. No whiskey, though.
Gotcha. I guess I could do that because I probably got a little Coke left. Yeah, I'll finish this Coke first. Next
Between
week,
the navigational beacons.
next week we will we'll do some taste tests with
I absolutely poured another one of those.
with the bourbon and the smoker kit. We'll do some smoked bourbon next week.
Oh, Reagan and I were kind of, when we were hanging out ABV Society, we were kind of messing with that, and I think it's out of butane or whatever it's called, the fuel.
Oh, is it?
And but I think we have some at the house.
Okay, or I can stop and get some too.
I think we have some. I have a smoking whiskey smoking kit there, and I feel like we just got a new thing somewhere. I'll just have to find it. I'll go home and look tonight. We call those ditches. Yeah, that's another word for navigational beacon. She said
around here your tires go. Brrr.
She said spend the night in the recliner. Again.
No,
she said it. She said again. Did that happen recently?
Last week, or I think it was a week before last. The truck broke down.
Oh
and
man!
My mechanic came and got the truck.
Why don't you just call me
and make you drive me clear out? No,
dude, I'll drive you home. Kidding me?
Oh, my battery's about to die.
Oh,
yeah. No, I just stayed the night here. Mechanic brought the truck back the next day. It was all good, but
nice.
Jesus, like I'm too old for that shit. I can tell you that. Sleeping in that dadgum recliner here is last year or the year before. I don't know when it was. Mama bought us this really nice mattress. And
so you really missed that thing.
Like it is so good. Now maybe it is so good. Maybe it is so good that because for a decade we had the shittiest mattress there ever was, and anyway, she found this nice one, and it's so good, dude. Like I don't want to sleep in that recliner,
dude. It's it's probably not as good as what you got. It sounds like. I just proofed it down to 80 with fruit wine for every mile of road. There is 2 miles of ditch. It's kind of a cool statistic. Never thought about it that way, Wade.
Oh, yeah. I'm fine, guys. I had 2 glasses, which amounts to about.
We're exaggerating.
3/4, 1.5 shots of bourbon.
Also, we're professionals, so.
We are professionals, right? We've been training a long time for this,
dude. Yeah, years.
Yeah, for sure, Lucky.
It's fair. That's fair.
Man,
where are we at? Oh man! Every time. Okay, I haven't turned around and looked at this for 15 minutes probably.
Yeah.
And every time it enters my mind, like, hey, where's the jar at? Yeah. It's like I panic for a split second. Right. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because we've overfilled so many.
Yeah, dude, it's like PTSD from like all these last runs. I'll just like look over and it's like, oh, cool. There's like a half a pint just all over the place.
Yeah.
What is, speaking of when you're making a run and you're kind of losing track of time or the jar, you're paying attention to something else. What's the most someone's ever like ran out, spilt before they notice like, oh crap, I got a problem here?
That's a good question. I know like one time I wasn't paying attention. So I used to run like down in the woods, right? Yeah. I had this like camouflage tarp, 20-foot camouflage tarp, and
out there just
down in the woods. But I was like, I don't know, 75 yards from the cabin.
Yeah.
And I'd be running all night long. And every now and then I'd have to run up to the cabin to get something or do something, whatever. And I wasn't paying attention. And I come back and it's just steam coming out of the.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It was
running dry?
Yeah, my pump had quit working, the circulating pump. So there was no cold water in the condenser at all. And it was just steam, just blowing everywhere. Yeah, and like 3 feet from the steam was just this open fire flame. Like that was good.
Damn.
I got lucky. So I don't know how much I lost, but.
It sounds like a little bit at least. Jason said, any recommendations for someone just getting into this? Wife just got me 1,000 Oaks. Make your own whiskey barrel. Found you guys about 2 days ago while going down a rabbit hole of making my own. Jason, first off, welcome in. Two, the plight that you are describing is pretty typical. It's pretty similar to me. Like you get into this, you're like, hey, I'm going to do this. And then you start to sponge information from the interweb. This is a good place to be. Cyrus has made numerous videos for beginners. There are groups that he's created. We'll have someone send you an invite to some of those.
Lucky already dropped.
Already did it. Already on top of it. A lot of videos. If you've got questions, basic questions, you can feel free to ask them now. We try to pick those out of the chat, especially for the guys that are just getting started.
Yeah, Jason, for sure. My opinion is the best place for a beginner to go learn is the Moonshine for Beginners MeWe group, because it's very active. There's lots of experienced folks in there that are happy to answer all your questions. They're patient with, the questions that you think are probably dumb questions. They're not. Nobody thinks they're dumb questions. We're in there answering them day in and day out, same questions over and over, and they're very patient. That's probably the best place to start. And then, of course, Still in the Clear YouTube channel. This entire channel is designed toward the beginner. There's other great YouTube channels. Randy Still Works in Brewing, a great YouTube channel. Still It is a great channel, although he's not really geared to the beginner. Also, if you go to stillintheclear.com/newsletter, I put out a monthly newsletter. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and there's always 2 or 3 articles in it. There's a new recipe in it all the time. And so those are great resources, great place to start. So that's what I would do.
Yeah. And, I would say too, this is pretty uniform advice that I give to everyone that's asking me or thinking about starting. Do it. Just start doing it. And it might not be perfect, or it may be perfect. This happens to people too, that they're really precise and they follow everything to a T and they've got good instructions and they go through it, and it's like, lo and behold, I was so scared, and I ended up making a great product.
Yeah.
And then you might not do that the next 2 or 3 times. Just stick with it. It's a hobby, and you're learning. And my best advice to you, sir, would be just to start. A lot of people don't ever start because they're worried they're going to mess it up, and they never make anything. So,
yeah, and you will also. Some people get stuck. They don't ever start because they don't think they've learned enough yet to start. Yeah. And the truth is, once you start learning a ton of stuff. All the watching the videos and reading the books, that's all great. But until you actually start doing it, you really haven't learned what you've consumed yet.
Yeah.
You will learn so much just from doing it, screwing stuff up, finding out what it is you like. So
better ways to
jump
do things.
In there and do it. You'll have a great time. It's okay. You're going to screw some stuff up. Every one of us did it and still do it. So yeah, I'm glad to. I'm always happy to see new people jumping into the hobby. That's what the entire channel has been built around. So it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, you learn just from your sack run. You're exactly right, Lucky. Like, in fact, one of the things we teach in Moonshine for Beginners is treat your sack run like it's a regular run, because even though it's just a sack run, you're not keeping anything that you produce. It's excellent practice for your first run, and you learn a ton just from that. Go ahead.
Scott nailed it here. Scott Bryan said, learn to ferment. That's the art. Couldn't say it any better myself. When you're learning the fermentation process, you're working on those building blocks that put everything else together. Everything else, back flavoring and pH and acidity and all this other stuff that's going to come later. The fermentation process is your building block. And it also is going to carry you over. Like you may start with a batch of you may do a bourbon run or a whiskey run, and go not so much for me. And you may be a wine guy. You may I'm 99. I'm only make wine. And that's just kind of what I got back into this hobby doing, and I've stuck with that so far. And I've always told myself, I'm going to get X amount of gallons and just really study the fermentation process like hard, keep up with what I'm doing, and make sure that I have a good sanitation process too, and just kind of learn all those basics. And then I'm going to start doing this other thing and learning more about this other thing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't say it any better than that. Learn fermentation, learn what sugar combined with yeast produces alcohol, learn what those byproducts are. Learn that process. You'll be great.
Doing a live stream. How's it going? Were you just coming to chat? Can I help you with something? Okay.
Absolutely.
Feel
free. I screwed up a lot of stuff at first due to pride. I drank it anyway. Yeah, sure. I mean, what else are you going to do with it? It may not be the best, but I mean, it's not going to make you sick, and maybe it doesn't taste good. It's still alcohol. John said he used EC 1118 but prefers 71B. That's cool. Depends on what you're making.
Yeah. Yep.
What would you?
I'm the opposite. I prefer.
I love EC 1118. Yeah.
1118. But I also feel like 71B has its place. It depends on what you're doing.
I've used some of the D47.
Oh, thanks, Clinton.
Dude. Hey, everyone give Clinton one of these in the chat, okay? Look at Clinton. Good looking out, brother.
Saving the day.
Need that. I'm just over here yapping, about to let some product run all over the floor. Yep, mistakes. Absolutely, dude. John Johnson asked, what kind of vape mod you got?
Oh, I don't know. It says Geek Vape.
He's talking about the top side.
Oh, I forget what this is called.
Looks cool.
Zeus, I think. I don't know. Winsong probably knows.
No alcohol abuse on my watch. Clinton, brother, that is 10 gold doubloons for you, sir. Ray, what are you working on? I'm back again this week. Oh, thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Thanks for being here, man. Lucky D said Cy also drives a Subaru. Probably he doesn't. I'm not going to tell you what he drives. I don't need any psychos out there looking for him on the road. But it is not a Subaru. We want to.
Okay, 130. This jar is 130.
Real quick.
Okay, good idea. So this is jar number 13, and it's 130. A Subaru. I got a neighbor who drives a Subaru. I don't know if that matters.
You got to be careful too, because I forget these mics kind of follow you around once they're clipped on your shirt, and I'm over there like bebopping around, going to close the door. Yep. I'm the guy that joined a week or two ago that was upgrading from a 7-gallon to a 20-gallon pot still. Ray, do you got your still already? And if you do you like it? What's the main difference here? I mean, just more time, right? 'Cause you're doing bigger runs. What do you think? I think it's always cool taking that next, we got a guy coming in here saying, hey, I'm taking my first leap, got my kit, and got a guy saying, hey, I've been doing this. I'm going from 7 to 20.
Upgrading.
Yeah,
that's another piece of advice you can give somebody who's just jumping in. When you decide what size of still you think you want, get the next size
up.
bigger.
Yep.
Yeah. So everybody, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say everybody. Almost everyone that I talk to never sticks with their first still anyway.
Oh, that's cool. Did a water run. Smart. Which I don't know. Have you ever done a water gun in any of these, or a water run in any of these manufactured stills?
Well, I always do a vinegar run, which is kind of like a water run. Your boiling point is roughly the same. It's half vinegar, half water.
What is that? Just to season the still, so to speak?
No, it's just to clean it out. So I run it with no water, no cooling.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm just blowing steam through it.
Okay.
So any kind of
just to
manufacturing process, slag, kind of like soldering chunks that kind of get in there. If you blow steam through it real hard, you can get through in these little teeny crevices and blow a lot of stuff out. And you'd be surprised. Like I did a video about it. And I showed, like I had a white bucket and all this steam just blowing into it and looking in that bucket. And they're just pieces of crap, brand new steel,
Crazy.
So that's like doing a water run. But as far as boiling point's about the same. And then after that, after your vinegar run, if you have copper, it's going to turn blue. Like the vinegar makes it patina quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so you do a sacrificial run right after that. That pulls all that patina out. That sacrificial run, especially on a copper still that you made a vinegar run on, will come out tinted blue because it's cleaning out all the patina on the inside.
Huh. And you just got to chunk it?
Yeah, you just chunk it or, set it next to the barbecue grill, whatever.
Oh, so I guess you just, essentially
degrease parts.
Yeah. I just do a water run after vinegar to get the blue tint out. No point wasting a good match.
Yeah, Clinton, I save, like I'll use feints or I'll use whatever I've got. If I don't have anything, I'll just make a real weak sugar wash, if I need to.
Yeah.
And that's another one of those things. Like not everyone agrees on how to prepare your still.
Yeah.
Some people say you don't even have to do a vinegar run.
1,000 ways to skin a cat.
Yeah. Some people will even say you don't have to do any of that. You do your first run and the first few jars, you just don't keep it. And after 2 or 3 jars, the still's clean and you move on. Like who's right, who's wrong? Nobody knows.
Hard to say. I use feints and 4 shots for a sack run. Yeah.
There you go.
Just kind of talking about. My first still was a wash basin filled with ice water on top of a canning pot with the collecting jar in the center of the pot.
Yeah.
Good.
I made the first still I made when we moved here was an old turkey fryer with a lid. I built a gasket for it, used clamps around it. And it was so bad because it was like my copper tubing was like 3/8 copper tubing. Yeah. And so a little 6-gallon run would take 14 hours because it was so tiny.
For so long. Question for any of you. I'm not real happy at the moment. Ray, brother, I'm sorry you're pissed off, but you cannot do it here, okay? You cannot be pissed off here. No, you can be pissed off here, I guess. No sack run, just ran it. Yeah. What would y'all do with a ferment that was nearly done and you find fruit flies in the airlock? Ray, brother, that is maybe like super, super common.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm running it. I don't even care. Yeah, First of all, do you know for sure that they made it through the airlock? Because there's bugs in this airlock, but they don't ever make it past the water.
Yeah, there's one in here, okay? They get trapped, right? I mean, they're not getting down in there in your wine. They have to drown before they are
Yeah, and especially
Getting all the
with
way through.
distillation, I'm running it. I don't even care.
Doesn't matter.
I've had bugs in
You don't
my
think there were
wash.
bugs landing on that fruit before you put it in there?
Yeah, it'll be fine, Ray. Just run it. You're good.
Which, and again, I'm kind of a sanitation freak, right? I'm dunking everything. I'm running through Star
because you're doing wine,
Yeah.
that's a little different.
Yeah.
Distillation, none of that matters.
Well, and it's not uncommon that I'll come in and I'll have fruit flies in my airlock. What I do normally is just I'll take them, dump them out, put some, go to my Star San container and just put some more water in there, just re-sanitize. I mean, I don't really get too bent out of shape about it. And I've never had any kind of spoilage or bacterial anything. It's never seemed to affect me. I've had bugs fall in my collection jar and I still drink it. Yeah, I mean, you're at that point, the collection jar is pretty stout.
Clinton says they put chickens in the steam path for making mezcal raw. Oh, yeah, that's right. In the vapor path. Like they'll hang a chicken in the pot, hang it up at the top. So all the vapors have to go through that raw chicken.
You're shitting me.
No.
What is this for?
True.
For mezcal?
That's true.
I love mezcal too. This is really messing me up.
I don't
right
think
now.
it's just mezcal either.
So wait, they put okay, hold on. All right, let's just stop a second. Okay, they put they put chickens in the steam path for making mezcal raw to cook and flavor alcohol. Yeah. Can we deep dive on this a little bit? This is just kind of mind-blowing information I'm taking in all at once here.
So other than just knowing that it's a real thing, I don't know much about it.
Give us some insight.
Do much of a deep dive.
Clinton, give me some more on that. You've led me to a well that is just full and I have no way to drink. Give me some more here. I want to know about that.
That sounds like a good article for the newsletter, though.
Dude, that's a crazy stat that I've never heard before. Didn't realize that.
It cooks the chicken, so you just eat the chicken after that too, huh?
Dude, what if that was like a little tradition, like for guys? Because like I would like to think that somewhere in Mexico, Guatemala, Costa Rica, there's some guys like us that are just kind of like, rural type people that like making alcohol.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they do because you're not going to the local liquor store a lot, so like they have to. So that'd be cool to kind of do a deep dive on that kind of stuff. It's also neat knowing there's versions of us that are just in like Guatemala.
there's hillbillies.
There's hillbillies. Press the space bar on that.
Oh, yeah. There's hillbillies in Guatemala too. That's right.
Fat drips in and eat the chicken after. You guys a super simple 10-gallon kit on any besides Amazon. Yeah, buy it from him, Ralph. Get in the comments and exchange information. He'll get you a great still. He's got 3 or 4 different kinds here. Did the chicken thing on Moonshiners. Tim Smith did the chicken thing. I didn't ever see that.
Oh, okay.
I must have missed that one. All kinds of possibilities. They prefer turkey breast. Your food is ready to eat. I don't know if they're being serious about eating it afterwards because I can see it being okay. I mean, if you're cooking it,
yeah,
I can see it being like chicken. Super, but like steamed in like alcohol fumes.
Yeah, we might have to just try that.
Dude, imagine how cool that video would be.
Right.
The fat from the meat adds aromatic properties and mouthfeel. I could see that giving it like a smoother, like,
almost like using glycerin to polish a whiskey.
Out of Jalisco, Mexico, but anyone making mezcal puts chicken or other poultry in vapor path.
Yeah,
this is nuts, dude.
We'll get some agave. We'll make a tequila, and
oh my God,
we'll hang a chicken from the
top thumper.
Yeah, hang it in the cone.
Oh, dude, I'm so happy about this. Eat the chicken afterwards. It's that like eating the fruit you use to flavor your shot. Oh, he's asking. He's not. I thought we had a chicken eater in here. I was about to be like, hey, what was that about? Dude, we could eat the chicken too after.
For sure. Surely it cooks it. I mean,
that would be a great live. Like if we wanted to do an extended live, like a 4-hour, do like a 5-gallon run.
Yeah.
whatever this is. I don't know if that gives enough time.
I mean, it's got to have enough time. Yeah, we'll do it.
But I mean, if
Do
it's
like a
cooking
15
at
gallon.
if it's cooking at 200 for 4 hours, surely that's. Oh, I don't know. I've smoked things at 225 for 10 hours.
Yeah.
So you may have to do a bigger run on it. Yep. Shiz lethal. It's not worse than the shot. I like to try it sometime, but not brave enough. I am brave enough. I do want to try. Called Pechuga. Behuga. Yes, they eat it. I don't blame them. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna try it.
Stream says, do it.
Steam penetrates
Do it.
deeper than smoke. Yeah, yeah. Hanging chicken on the top of all that thing. Have you ever slow boiled a chicken? I have. I think there's this thing my mom makes during like Thanksgiving, and you gotta boil some chicken and shred it and put it in some stuff. So, I mean, I've boiled chicken before, but I never steamed one over alcohol vapors and hung it inside a copper still. Yeah. I feel like I'm a crazy person right now. I feel like when he said that, I was like, that's not true. Everyone's validating.
Joe Goodman says, I'll donate the chicken.
Hang a chicken on the top. Dude, it would be cool to get an actual, like, I can get us a rooster.
I definitely think we should do it.
I can get us a rooster.
Let's not do a rooster.
Okay, just do it like a hen, some sort of hen? Okay.
I mean, I want it to be good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just felt like the damn rooster is more authentic somehow. And there's no reason for me to think that other than me just thinking it.
Because you're racist. Mexicans are cockfighters.
Well, I'm just saying it just feels like they get, because you're probably not going to go get one of your layers. Right, you're probably just going to go whack an old rooster and the oil. You guys are blowing my mind right now.
What a rabbit trail.
Black is an anti-puke. Okay, all right. Now I feel like I'm getting messed with a little bit. You also put the chicken in net mesh so it doesn't drop. Are the feathers still on?
No.
Okay.
You wouldn't do that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it would just be, a raw chicken like you would cook.
Imagine them talking us into like, no, it has to have the feathers. It's the oil from the feathers that you're actually looking for.
Like, do you think we could get them to do it with the feathers?
Yeah.
Are they that dumb?
Imagine the fed that drops into the middle of the context without backstory. We're talking about boiling. They're boiling the chickens alive. They're boiling the chickens. Okay. If it's a young rooster, go for it. They don't lay eggs, and they're first to get a freezer. That's where my mind went instantly. If I come over to my dad's and get in his coop and jerk one of his layers out, he's gonna probably be pissed off at the whole rooster. He doesn't even care.
Yeah, Ray, I understand you're nervous going from electric to propane.
Yeah,
I do. Well, I haven't done electric in a long time. I even gave away my, my element and stuff. I do propane all the time. I do propane indoors. Now, granted, I have a very large space to do it indoors with. But,
get out of the way and you can actually see his burner.
In your garage, with the door open, running propane, you're going to be fine. And the only problem would be if you have leaks in the vapor path, but you would.
Camera's following me.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, really?
But if you have, if you have a leak in your vapor path, you're going to smell it very quickly, and you just turn the propane off, figure out what the problem is, fix it, turn the propane back on. It's, but I certainly understand being nervous about it, but you'll be fine.
Oh, they're talking about. Okay, I thought you were talking about.
Oil works the same. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about. So no foaming and puking and things like that.
Duck is an oily meat too. Might be great. Yeah, I can easily go procure a mallard for us.
So like we just get a chicken or duck, put it in like a brew bag, maybe.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
and hang it.
That's crazy. I had no idea. Imagine how cool that would be, because you could just brand it you could just put like a big like you could put like a big what's that style of tattoo that's like traditional American or whatever? Imagine like a big traditional American, just like chicken, and that's all. That's the label.
That's the
just
label.
chicken. Yeah. Well, okay, Ray. So talking about the bigger still here, Ray says, well, I'm nervous because my old 7-gallon stovetop rig did get a leak right in the bottom of the still and hard to stop the run just as it got to temp. Oh, it had to stop the run just as it got to temp.
In the bottom of the still. Okay.
But I think, I mean, you got a new still, right? You got a 20-galloner now, and your old one started to leak. And
so, I mean, you have to know that doing this, there is risk, but it's pretty minimal. And you know, if you're really worried about it, just babysit it continuously. Never take your eyes off of it. Have a fire extinguisher right next to it. You know, just mitigate that risk that you feel like that maybe you feel a little bit overwhelmed about.
Put the stove in the shed. That way you blow your shed up and not your kitchen. Wore it out. A tribal tat? What's Winsong talking about?
Yeah, a tribal chick. You know, those
got a crawfish tat here for your ass, Winsong. I grew up on a crawfish farm. Everyone's like, why you got a crawfish tattoo? I'm like, I just really like them. At this point, I don't even go into, like, hey, my grandpa had his crawfish. I don't go into all this stuff. They're just like, I'm just really passionate about crawfish. They're like, it doesn't have any. There was a guy the other day. He was like, it doesn't have any, like, I was like, no, I just love crawfish. He's like, oh, shit. Paste it up. Yeah, depending on where it's at, you could probably do that. If it's right directly above the burner, that may not be so good. Which is, I think, what he was saying, right? He had it on the bottom. God, every time you do that, you're faking me out every time. One of these. And I'm... Yeah. You were asking what it was. The tribal tat? Is that what she's talking about?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. The American, you said American style tattoo or something?
Oh, yeah. Just like American traditional, I think is what it's called. It's like just an old school, like, kind of like, I don't know, like 1920s cartoon style, like art.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think it could be any style chicken, to be honest. I don't think we have to necessarily
put a chicken on
in the early stage of branding this chicken bourbon. Scott, brother, thanks for coming in, man. Glad you were here. Appreciate it, Lucky.
See you later, Scott, man.
Dude,
thanks for dropping in.
Man. He's on top of it in there.
Yeah, Lucky's good.
Posting the links.
He's one of the admins in the group, too. He does a great job.
I'm going to talk to Cyrus about this, Lucky, but I think you're due for a raise.
I'm going to double your pay.
Yeah. Triplet, shit. What's on? Quit busting my chops. Oh, look, it's zoomed in. It's like just me. Look at the camera.
Yeah.
God, I'm gaining weight.
And me too. Developing a little spare here.
Dude.
I mean, right now it's just one of those 30-mile spares, but
I mean, I feel like I'm in good company, okay, here in the chat, but I mean, like, jeez. They like start running or something.
Scrappy Bob says new Thanksgiving tradition. Hell yeah, like do a chicken run.
That's badass because, I mean,
I love it.
Do a chicken run like, because you can make a chicken run or a turkey run because someone else was saying that they recommended turkey. I don't know if that was from experience or just what they've heard, but I mean, imagine doing like a side dish where you have like whatever with the, like you may be able to cook too with the alcohol a little bit.
All right.
That'd be kind of a cool tradition. I wish we had.
Lucky D's, his salary is currently still in the clear koozie.
It's a good kid. It's a great koozie, though. You got to admit.
Well, I did tell him I'd double it, so I'll send you another.
You got one in the mail. Check's in the mail, brother. Wade, hey, thank you, Wade. He backed me up on Winks on there. He said, "Drink more. This is getting funny." Yeah, I think it would do good too. I mean, this is why I kind of like these lives too, because I swear to God, I've never heard of chicken in the pot, turkey in the pot, none of that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing, and it's kind of cool the idea of it with the fat dripping down, and you know, it kind of. I could see that could add some smoothness, like me adding butter to my ramen noodles, like a little bit of oil going on in there. Something different. People can post up their still setups and give you ideas. Yeah, a lot of good resources over there that Lucky D's posting about. These groups they've created. They got a lot of members. Everyone wants to help. It's just it's a good community.
I'll give you an idea about how good the MFB group on MeWe is. I mean, everyone knows about the Facebook groups, right? I can go to a Facebook group. I'm in several Facebook groups, and I can not go there for a week, and I've missed 20 posts. If I don't check my MeWe group until night, I've missed 100 and something posts every day.
Yeah, pretty active.
Not every day, but it's so active. There's so many people, and it's not just people screwing around either. It's people are asking questions and getting answers. I mean, we do have a little bit of screwing around, but it's pretty minimal.
Yeah, would take a big still. Different people can post up their still. Yeah, say it. Pachuga. Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
The tequila. Okay, someone give me a comment in here and let me know. Is it tequila or mezcal? Pachuga, is that like the style where you've got the chicken in the pot? What is Pachuga? Such nice, but yeah, everyone's really nice. Like if you can't tell from this chat, everyone's joking around and having fun, but it's not like the typical internet that you see where it's just like overrun.
There's no trolls. There's no trolls get booted from that group so fast. There's an application process it's really simple. You answer 3 questions, and if people are ever stupid about their ansers, they just don't get accepted.
I don't like this.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. We talk about a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, it's all like what Cyrus is kind of saying is geared towards the beginner, but
exactly
at the same time, like he's saying, there's guys that have been doing it 15 or 20 years and or longer, and nobody's too proud to ask a question,
right?
Like Cyrus has been doing this a long time. He's run a lot of liquor, but he's not afraid to ask someone else a question about what they've had that worked for them.
There's lots of stuff I haven't done.
Nobody's a know-it-all here.
Yeah. And another thing too, even the experienced folks in the group get a lot out of the group because not only do we all learn from each other, but there's you get a lot of satisfaction sharing what you know.
Mezcal de Pachuga. Okay, I think I'm not confirming. David Anderson maybe with the best answer on this. The tequila is only I understand agave and all that stuff, mezcal and aged on wood. I get all that. What Mezcal de Pachuga, is that the actual title of that drink? Because I'm going to go home tonight and absolutely dive deep.
Going to get in the weeds.
Oh my God. You guys you don't even know what you've set in motion here. I'm going to go home and fixate on this for a few hours. I'm going to have charts and yarn strings all over my living room wall. I'm going to get deep into this so that we can do a good live or a good YouTube video or something. You wouldn't want to overcook it. The buns will get mushy. I got MeWe for another 2, and I have like 1,500 on it. Yeah, sounds like it's pretty active in there. I need to get in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of wild. Okay, Ulysses Valdez, you have lots of agave. Only tequilas made from blue agave. Brother, I'm not saying it's because of your name, Mr. Valdez, but I am taking what you tell me as the gospel here. It is because of your name. But good for you. You're getting absolute immediate.
But then again, we are moonshiners, and moonshiners suck at following the rules. So if I make something and call it a tequila and I didn't use blue agave,
that's true.
That's just kind of what it is.
That's true. I think people are at, because I have 2 large carboys right now filled with like a yellow, like fermenting wine. Mm-hmm. And everyone that comes over to the house was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Well, it's holiday wine."
Our toilet's broken.
I don't know what the technical correct name for that would be, but it's a holiday liqueur. I wonder how I can buy agave. I saw plants for sale. Anyone got the hit Dark Line up with the agave hookup if you've got it in here? Ulysses Valdez? Looking to you, buddy.
I mean, I know we've been talking about tequilas made with this chicken, but I ain't above making
a bourbon,
a whiskey chicken.
You can do anything with it.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool video, too, because, like, if I don't know about it, and I mean, listen, I've done a lot of looking online. I've watched all your videos. I've watched a ton of videos online of people making wine, liquor, all kinds of beer. I've never even heard of this. I've never seen
right.
If someone had a whatever you call it, like a screenshot on their video of like, "Hey, I'm making alcohol from chicken." I'm clicking the video, I'm watching it, and I would know. I've never even heard of this.
Scrappy says you just call it the house wine.
The house wine, baby. That's right. Table wine. I like that one. I said table wine. I've got another one that's like it's a red that I made out of juice, and it's a table wine. Everyone's asked me what it is. Table wine, table wine, table wine. Anyone will like it. It's middle of the road on everything. Sweetness, woodiness, dryness, acidity. It's just, if you don't like this, you're not really going to like it. You might not love it, but you're going to at least like it. You're going to drink it.
That's right. Ulysses made some bourbon in Argentina. Yeah.
I don't care where. Yeah, I've never really cared about that. Like it's like they do that with cheeses too. It's like this cheese can only be made in this region in France.
You want it?
It's like okay? I mean, maybe outside of the temperature and the time of year, what is the difference?
The interesting thing about the bourbon being only made in the U.S.
Is it a barometric thing?
It was a treaty.
Oh.
So
is it a marketing thing?
It had to do with protecting the American market.
That's the same way with the cheeses.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Munster's only made in, Munster, Germany.
And it's also why bourbon, one of the classifications of bourbon is that it has to be aged in a white oak barrel.
Yeah.
Because we had a ton of white oak here.
We just had a surplus of white oak.
This is
what you got to do. No one else has got it. We've got a ton of it. You got to make it a white oak. It's the only way it's bourbon. I love what a baller move. Just to be like, oh, well, this is this thing. Oh, you only have it. Like, what's that tree in Africa? It's like thousands of years
Appreciate you, brother. Go ahead.
I don't think it's it's not a Bodhi tree. It's some ancient African tree. And what if they were just like, oh, well, if you want to like tequila, it's only in this certain type of cactus. And
right.
Such a baller move to be like, we're the only ones that have this. Like, this is the only way you can make it. I used to get agave in California and still can buy. You got to pick it up. No shipping. Dang, no shipping, bro. You got to get them in the 2024 type. I don't know. I kind of admire that in that. When you walk up to a place and it's like I used to eat, I used to review burgers. Mm-hmm. And if I walk up to a place and it's a walk-up window and they only take cash, I immediately go like, oh, this is
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Before I've ever even tried anything or seen anything. It's kind of like that. I don't mind it.
Yeah, extreme. There's no TTB classification for bourbon that says it has to be made in Kentucky. Just the U.S. Has to be made in the U.S.
Bacteria for cheese. Yeah, that's true. Make them cornflake. I just saw a video of making bourbon from cornflakes and Raisin Bran. Are you talking about Cyrus's video of the breakfast cereal?
That's what we're drinking right here, brother.
Here's the finished product.
Yeah. Cornflakes and raisin brandy.
It's really,
Has turned out
really, it's
good.
stupid good too, by the way. Beat feet. Have a good one, everyone.
America.
Later, Lucky. Appreciate you being in here, man. Amarula. Amarula is another one. That's like we've got a buddy that's big on Amarula. It comes from Africa. It's really good. It's more like a liqueur though. It's like a kind of like a Bailey's almost, but it's a little different. It's like spiced a little different. Yeah, Amarula. Ulysses, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think we're talking about the same thing. Amarula, it's like a cream liqueur from Africa. And I got off on that tangent there. It could be made from like a specific type of something that they've got there. I don't know that. Richard, brother, you missed a lot. But now you're here. That's the important thing.
We're gonna make a bourbon with a chicken.
Yeah.
So you missed that. There's a whole thing
There you
that.
Scroll up in the chat. I was.
It's a liqueur of Africa.
Dude, I like this Valdez guy. He's shown out some really obscure facts for us tonight.
For us Americans.
I like it. Hey, Mr. Valdez, where are you from, brother? Shout it out in the chat. I want to know. Emilio.
Yeah,
my
right.
wife whipped up some killer Kahlua coffee brandy from my last run of vodka.
Winsong's got a great Kahlua recipe too.
Dude, got on a huge. It could have been the autism, but my wife and I got on an absolute Big Lebowski kick.
Yeah,
we like for a month, and we were living. It's kind of funny too because we were, buying our house. We're living in this fifth wheel, and so we're living in this fifth wheel camper, and we make a all we drink for like an entire weekend, all we did was watch The Big Lebowski and drink White Russians. And it's like, we got completely just on a tangent there where that was our thing.
Richard likes bourbon chicken. All right.
I don't like coffee brandy. Hey, man, I like bourbon chicken. Scott Bryant, Argentina. But, man, dude, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
When's the last time you hung a good chicken in your still and just made a run?
We have yet to do it.
This is a first?
This will be a first, yeah.
What a good video idea. Shout out to that person. We got to go back and find them in the comments and
find out
whoever first initially brought this chicken in the still into the. We got to give them some credit.
It's up there when we were talking about crap getting in the airlock. And he's like, "Hey, they hang chicken in the
yeah." That is when it come up.
I think it might have been Clinton. I think it might have been Clinton.
Take responsibility, whoever first interjected this in the conversation. What a good video idea.
The video always wants to zoom in on you. Oh,
I just moved too much. I think, and
it's the hand gesture. This hand gesture, holding your hand up. Yeah, it just did it on me.
Because I do one of those. Oh, look, it did. It went back. Maybe it pressed it.
I think there's a way to turn the AI hand gesture thing off, but I haven't figured it out.
They're saying, Ray said, y'all might need a bigger still, though. That one looks kind of small to hang a chicken in.
I mean, start with a Cornish. You
can hang some quail in there.
Some quail? That's right.
Just about a half dozen quail probably fit in a bag in there.
Check your jar. Thank you. It's appreciate not quite there, but
Wade, we appreciate that call out. Yeah, we do. I need to move. I'm going to move slightly to the side. A quail or two, yes, sir?
I think that's the wrong one.
Put some buff orphans in there.
Right.
I said that to someone the other day, and they acted like I was a crazy person. Like they did not know what I was talking about. You've heard of a buff orphan, right?
Yeah.
Like a little Cornish game hen type?
Yeah.
I threw that out at someone, and they just started laughing at me like I was an idiot. I was like, dude, it's a thing. Stop. Quit making fun of me, dude. It's real.
We used to raise chickens. Had lots and lots and lots of chickens. Considering we started with like 12, but we had these. Baby, what were those little feathery, those fancy little chickens called that we had?
The silkies?
No, they weren't silkies. But their feathers went all the way down their feet. They looked like they were wearing slippers.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And they were also
She'll
like
know, one
tiny.
Oh, they were little ones?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen the full like a full size chicken that's got the feathers all the way down, and then they're a silky. There's a proper name for them, but I think that's like a
banny
rooster.
No, anything with the chickens with banny in it means little.
Ah,
yeah. So these cochins. Yeah, little cochin bannies is what we had. Yeah, one of those would fit in that cape for sure. They weren't that big.
There's probably a bigger still laying around somewhere too that we might be able.
Yeah, your 20-gallon. So typically, how you want to size your thumper, Ray, is 30 to 50%, or I'm sorry, 25 to 50% of the size of your rig. So you got a 20-gallon rig. So basically, 7 to 10-gallon thumper is ideal.
7-gallon still into a new thumper for a 20-gallon rig. Yeah, I guess that's about right.
Yeah. Scott would eat it. Cochin. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, baby.
Scott said, I raised WT green sweater grays from Percy Flowers, our local moonshine legend. Percy Flowers. You familiar with him?
Mm-mm.
I don't know. That's awesome, though. Cool that you got an old timer there around local to bounce stuff off of. My neighbors have had some chickens that look like they have on at bell bottoms. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. They're either a silky or a cochin. Yeah, I mean that wind song. You're not. I think you're probably right. I mean, some people may be like, oh, it looks more like those are adorable. We want like I want an old, crusty old, just like something that was a problem. Like they would attack your dog or your cat in the backyard.
Child.
If they got too close. Yeah. Jump up on somebody's. I want a chicken that's got it coming. But it's something I'm considering when I start doing a full 230 gallon. That's a man-sized run. That's a lot. You're welcome. They made a movie about they made a movie about Percy Flowers. So put the name of it in here. Look it up or find it. Remember it.
Drop it in there.
That'd be cool. I need to start. I gotta get like a little pen and paper. Getting a to-do list over here. I gotta go research this chicken booze. I gotta go look at old dang Percy Flowers. Johnson County, North Carolina.
Oh, I gotta turn this
Equal
up.
size thumper makes for a long run, but the total collected is worth it. Okay, so you're saying you use kind of an oversized thumper. Okay.
Man, these ice jugs work well.
Yeah. You want that one-eyed fighting cock. It's one you're on. Yeah. My 20-gallon has got a 5-gallon thumper on it, so it sounds like there's a little bit of. Yeah, they're going with those smaller. What is it? Third?
Yeah.
1 to 3?
Yeah. And that's just what I've heard is the ideal size. 30 to 50%.
Okay.
But
it's word on the street.
That's the word on the street. That's right. But I don't use thumpers enough to be able to say, you gotta, I haven't used a thumper in a long time. I'm probably going to get a thumper from Adam at some point. I'm going to buy one of his thumpers, maybe to add to this still.
That'd be cool.
But the only reason I want to get it is I want that flavor infuser that he makes to put on it. Have you seen that?
It's like you just hang a bag or something in there?
No, so it's thumper, and on the top of the thumper, you got your line going in.
Oh, yeah, you screw the jar in.
No, it's he's got a big, like 2-inch butterfly valve with one of those sight glasses.
Yeah.
And another butterfly valve.
Oh, okay.
So while the still is running, you open the top valve, you can fill it with whatever, close it, and then you can infuse the flavor during any part of the run.
Do you think those actually impart a lot of flavor, or?
I think it would certainly impart more flavor than
just not
having any way to like bypass the thumper or anything like that. Because if you don't have a way to bypass your thumper, your heads are stripping all the flavor. As soon as you run your first few jars, the heads have stripped most of the flavor out. So having a way to infuse flavor multiple times throughout the run, I think you could get more flavor.
Yeah.
I haven't used one yet, and I don't typically, haven't used a thumper in a long time, but I would get one of those thumpers just so I could experiment.
I feel like it's visually cool enough too, to where even if it doesn't really do a lot of flavor note changing or anything like that, like visually, I feel like it can, kind of mentally make you think it is at least. 2 beer kegs with around 12 gallons each.
Thanks, Terry, for sure. It's been working great.
Lost Flowers, the true story of Percy Flowers. Okay. I'm bookmarking that in my mind for later.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to open up a new tab and Google it right now.
Lost Flowers. The true story. Of Percy
Jackson
Flowers.
All right, Lost Flowers, True Stories of the Moonshine King.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's a book.
It's on Amazon. Oh, okay. YouTube, Lost Flowers. Boom, perfect.
All right, so I'll
go give that a watch later. Good shout out there. That's kind of cool. I always make little popcorn setting references every once in a while. It'll be the last damn run of liquor I ever gonna make. WT Green race fighting cock for Percy. He had a lucky gray sweater, so his chickens all called sweater grays. My dad got those chickens when WT Greens died. Dude, send us one of these authentic whiskey chickens, brother. Send it over.
Stupid question. I got a 13-gallon still. Do I have to run 13 gallons or still 13 gallons? Or is it a true 13-gallon still, which means it's actually larger? So, like, for example, these stills from Copper Still Co., when he says it's a 15-gallon still, it's 15 gallons to here. So it doesn't include the cape. You've got to have headspace. Some stills, when they say, oh, it's a 15-gallon still, that might mean up to here. So you've got to know that for sure first. The next thing would be if you're running electric. If you're running an electric element, then you can't let that element run dry. So what you have to do is know where your element is inside of the still. Know that you can't let it run dry. So you have to run enough liquid so that once you extract all of the alcohol, I'll just do some quick math for you so you get the gist of what I'm saying. Let's say you're going to run 10 gallons and you have a 10% ABV and you have 100% efficiency with your still, meaning you're going to extract all of the alcohol. That means you're going to take out at a very minimum a full, you're going to take out about 2 gallons when you do that. And so that means wherever that element is, you have to stay above that after you've removed 2 gallons. So that's how you calculate it. Now, if you're not using an element, then sure, you can just run a gallon in a what did he say? He had 5 gallon.
What he said, I can't remember now.
Okay. 13 gallon still. So you can run short runs in your still, but there's really no reason to do it. So if you've got a 13 gallon still, don't waste your time running a gallon. Make a ferment that is going to at least produce 10 gallons for you. It doesn't take that much extra. Like, you're not talking about a lot of extra money. You're not talking about any more time. Like, the fermentation is the fermentation. They're all going to take, based on your ABV, they're all going to take the same amount of time to ferment. So don't do a 1 gallon batch. There's not much sense in that. Now, if you've got like an air still, do a 1 gallon batch. That's fine. But at least that's my opinion on it. There might be people in the chat that have a different opinion than that. But
Jason down there in Louisiana asks, what's your best way to strain out mash from grains? Bag it?
So I use
size too, I guess.
I mean, you can bag it. I don't think that's the best way, because doing it in a bag to me is a pain in the butt, and the juice isn't worth the squeeze, as they say. Like, what you get isn't worth the amount of trouble you go through using a bag, my opinion. What I do is I build fermenters with valves in the bottom and bazooka filters that I can ferment on the grain. So throughout the entire fermentation, the grain is there. When I'm done, open the valve on the bottom, all the liquid drains out, the grains stay. Now, there is a downside to that, depending on the mash, depending on how finely you grind your grain. Those bazooka filters can get clogged. And so sometimes I have to reach down in there and kind of scrape off the bazooka filter. You also, last week we were talking about this, you can blow air through the valve and push the clog off of the bazooka filters. But that's how I do it. And I've probably got an example I can show you.
Big J, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for that, man.
Okay, so here's an example of my...
Check the jar. Check the jar. Oh, shit, he's not wrong.
Okay. See if you can get them to see the inside of that. This is one of my 12-gallon filters.
Okay. All right, I'm going to bring this around the other side of the table, give you guys like a real close-up. I'm going to kind of hang out over here until the stream catches up. See what you guys can see in here. Okay, see this setup that he has in here? It's going to take a while for the camera to like fully focus on it. But that PVC runs out into his little faucet. What's the technical term for that?
So it's the PVC it's a manifold, basically. And then it goes into a bulkhead, and then the bulkhead, there's a valve on the outside.
A lot of surface area on the mesh for, so he doesn't get clogged up and can't get anything out, but also it allows, his liquid to kind of continue to flow. So pretty smart design there to get all your liquid off without any of your grain, and it's honestly, it's got to be easier than anything else messing with a bag. And
yeah, that's my preference. And also, like, those fermenter kits on stillintheclear.com/shop, you can find
26
that parts kit. So it's everything you need to turn any kind of barrel into what I just showed you. Comes with all the parts.
26, you think? 24? 26?
24.
Wait. Oh, yeah, you're right.
And this is jar.
Twin bazooka screens 12. Is right. Yeah. No, it's a pretty cool setup, really. Yep. I can see. Yeah.
What did we say it was? 126?
126, I believe. Spigot. Yeah, spigot. That's the word I was looking for.
It's good stuff.
And this is 126 proof.
Yeah.
63%. Do you mind if I?
No, go ahead.
All right, 126 proof. Tell them exactly what we've got here, just for the people joining in that came in a little late.
This is a straight corn liquor that I made as a sugar mash. Sugar mash, meaning I didn't convert starches. I only added sugar and I used corn to steep flavor. And this is a 1.5 runs, so we did stripping runs, added it to this run.
All right, I'm going to try it out here.
Try it out.
Very clear. It's got. I mean, it's not a. I think it's just reflecting light off the outside of the glass. I think I got everything out here. Could be a little in there. Try this out here. There's just something about that. There's just something about that raw.
Oh, yeah.
Here I am. It's good. Not so bad.
Spigot, that's what I call it. Yeah.
Yep.
46 people in the live, or 42.
Look at that. About to bump up to 50.
Yeah, if you're in the live and you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Let's see if we can get 50 people in here.
Yeah. Like it and share it. That's the only way, I think really for more people to get in here. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to Cyrus. Mm-hmm. If you're not subscribed to Still in the Clear, what you're watching the live on now, it takes no time. Just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. That helps us out too. So we appreciate all of you being here and liking and sharing and subscribing and asking questions mainly.
Yeah, Clinton, that's another good point. Like you don't you don't have to worry about sparging or anything like that if you're doing sour mash generations. I mean, you do have to get your liquid out still. You can siphon it out from the top. You can use a pond pump, which I do a lot of times.
Oh!
And the $20 super chat
Dude,
from Clinton.
What?
Appreciate you, brother. For the chickens.
For the chickens, my man.
Awesome.
Appreciate that, dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
Clinton,
auto siphon works great.
That's
They're like
wild.
$14 for a 5 gallon, what is it, 32-inch auto siphon?
Dude, Clinton, you're nuts, man. Appreciate that. We'll have to dedicate the chicken. Well, I want to find a chicken that's got it coming though too.
The chicken live will be dedicated to Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton donated the chicken. We really go. We got to find a rooster that's just that's a pain in someone's. There's got to be some old lady somewhere in Sebastian County that's like, dude, this rooster is an absolute problem. I can't catch it, right? I already killed it.
Yeah,
like there's got to be one of those around.
There's a comedian that does a little bit about free range chickens. Talking about how, man, I don't want to be eating no free range chicken. Like that guy had a good life. I want that fucker that's been in a cage. He wants it over.
He's angry. Yeah, he's ready to go. Now we expect a chicken run next Thursday. Brother, I don't know if it's going to be next Thursday, but it's coming up.
Yeah, it won't be next Thursday. We're doing rum next Thursday, and then I bet by the following Thursday we can be ready for a chicken run.
Our production team's got our schedule set out for like a month or two. We got it's a big machine here. It's not like you're just watching the only two guys who are involved in this process. Okay, we got bosses to answer to. Okay,
we've got to run this through committee.
Yeah. That was all bullshit. It is just us. It's just I might as well fund the run. Dude, Clinton. Shout out to Clinton. Brought up the idea. Paid for the chicken.
The Clinton chicken bourbon run.
Joe Goodman said, I got 2 mean roosters already caged up. Brother, I think you know where to bring them. Okay?
Right.
Where are you at? How far from us are you?
Yeah.
Want to fight? No. Come on now. We'll be fighting them now. But it is kind of
I'm not fighting a chicken.
Yeah, we're gonna fight him. We're not.
I mean,
Yeah,
what if I lost
come
to a chicken?
Can you imagine getting your ass beat by a chicken? There's a guy out there where that's happened. He's ran away from like a literal rooster.
Yeah. Scott McNeil says the Windsong's the boss. Yeah.
Hour and a half slow drive. Dude, there would be. I mean, I don't know how we'll have to talk about this after we get off tonight, but there would be, I think there are some cool intro possibilities of someone bringing us a rooster or a chicken or something. Right. I mean, I want to get, I mean, it's YouTube, so it's not like you can't get, I mean, I don't know. There's stuff on YouTube of them like butchering meat chickens and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. This is I'll say this for everyone watching. This has not
we've already got a name for the recipe, the CCBR. That's awesome.
Clinton Chicken Bourbon Run. I have never been, I've never been more interested in a whiskey or a bourbon or any kind of liquor recipe than I am now. There has never been one before that contained friggin' chicken. CCBR. It's almost Halloween, so don't be chicken. Dude, we should do like a Thanksgiving. I don't know. We'll talk about it off stream, but I would do like a Thanksgiving, like not necessarily. Wouldn't want it to be obviously on Thanksgiving Day or anything like that. We've got families and lives outside of here, but I mean, like sometime around Thanksgiving, do like a Thanksgiving special.
Yeah.
You guys kind of share it around.
Have a good one, Wade. We'll see you later.
Let's throw something out there. We need to come up with a milestone that the channel meets, and then we'll do it. This is a cool idea. I kind of want to run with it, but I don't know. Well, I'll talk to Cyrus about the timeline of it once we get off here. Wade, appreciate you being in here, brother.
Yeah, Richard, I think I am going to use the Alembic for the rum next week. The CCBR recipe. That's going to be so much fun.
Dude, I'm like, I mean.
So I guess another question would be, like, is that a single pot still run? Or do they double distill it after the fact to clean up the oils? Or like one and done?
I don't know. I'm so curious to taste it as it comes off and just see like, hey, how different is this?
Right.
And then, I mean, because you can then you're going to be able to age it. Like you can, if you do a big enough run, like you can pull some off and throw it on some wood, maybe.
Leave the wishbone in the bottle like a worm.
Oh, dude, what are we doing here? Yeah, we're doing that. Richard said I need to come sit in the corner on that one if possible. Come on, brother.
Yeah,
we gotta. I would love to. Hey, we should start filming in front of a live studio audience here. Richard, you can have a chair directly here and here, as long as you muffle your laughter. The videos of mezcal making, I saw they do a giant pot still, Alembic style, use a thumper, but mainly just a straight single distill and age of spirit.
All right, cool. Well, that makes it easy too.
Scott jumps in there on that too. Yeah, that is easy. So, oh man, it's gonna be badass.
Shoot, chow. So that that 10-gallon Alembic still, if you put like 8 gallons in it, it takes about 8 hours to run. If you run it slow and easy.
If you start with how much?
8 gallons. And then, it's got the onion head on it, which I guess you could hang that chicken real tight right up close.
I don't know. Okay, so you could take that, you could take the top tube off that goes down to the condenser, and you could hang it outside, or how would you hang it in the onion still?
I mean, maybe run a copper wire all the way through the neck, and hang it that way. Maybe
I don't know how you'd get it all the way through.
solder a copper hook up there.
Yeah. You'd
That's
have to
how
put,
you
yeah,
just
you'd have to put like
solder a hook up.
You'd have to put your little hook in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Raw and after flog neat, swell from information.
Oh,
Chicken
yeah.
toilet.
Good idea, Clinton. Do some smoked corn to add a smokiness flavor to it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm just really curious to see what that, what the fat dripping down into the. And notice no difference, right? I mean, it'd be kind of interesting to see if you ran, okay, this mash is out of the same 55-gallon run that this mash is out of. One has a chicken in it, one doesn't.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, what are you going to notice that's different? Is it going to be smoother? Is it going to be, like, less acidic-y because of that fat, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of interesting to think about. You could use the hook to hang in a gin basket.
No solder, just make a
triangle bent rod, yeah. Use some crab meat? Bro, don't get me down another rabbit hole right now. If that's a legitimate thing that people are doing, I can't. There's only so much information I can handle in one night, bro.
You can only go down one hole at a time.
Dude, the crab meat, though, because you do just steam crab.
Yeah.
What if we were just eating an entire dinner out of what we had hung?
Have like a brew bag with chicken,
just like a crab boiled chicken, potatoes. Could you imagine eating like a boil out of like if you just hung a net in there and then you just had like crab, chicken, potatoes, corn. Right. You just had all that shit hung up in there. You could eat it while you're running everything. Just kind of like peel a little something out of there every once in a while. See, yeah, Clinton, you're right. Yeah. Y'all are working your way up to a fish shrimp boil and still next. Dude, can you imagine an in-still shrimp boil? Like just.
Yeah. Scott brings up a good point. It would be steamed way too long.
Shrimp dip, shrimp whiskey. The agave is a fruit, so you use some crab and pineapple.
Now we're adding pineapple.
Dude. Mr. Valdez over here is just blowing my mind. Some of this stuff. Looking good. How many more do you think you got coming?
Let's see. There's 1 gallon, 2 gallons, 2 3/4 gallons, or 2 1/4 gallons. I'm like half done. Maybe not. I'm already down to 1/3, 126.
I'm gonna grab some.
I'm more than half done if it's already at 126.
I'm gonna grab some piment of some sort because I don't feel like carrying on with the whiskey is the best decision for me to make right now. But for some reason, a piment feels like maybe it's not so egregious.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just gonna do a chicken. Worry about all the others on some other run. I just want to do.
Maybe we could put an owl up in that thing. See what an owl would do to it. Like a hoot owl.
Yeah, right.
I think that may be actually highly illegal. I don't know if those aren't protected. So anyone who's listening, that was an absolute joke. We're not going to put like a red-tailed hawk or a hoot owl in there. Like Theo.
Yeah, Scott, for sure. I would love to have a bunch of folks come over, bring their own stuff, make a run. Like
we should do a live event.
Like we've thought about doing that before. The problem is like you would have to bring your own mash because you got to be ready to run. Or if you're just talking about a mash day, everybody comes, makes their mash. We don't make any whiskey.
You can bring your still and bring your heater and set it up. And I mean, if you got propane and a burner, and your own still, just set up and run it while we're running this and just hang out with us.
We got a huge loading dock we can do it on. Yeah, that would be really
really cool to get 15 or 20 stills set up. Everyone just kind of walking around, visiting, watching their stuff. We could run the chicken that day. That'd be cool.
Yeah, would be a lot of fun.
It'd be cool to meet some of you guys too. I mean, you guys are awesome and really fun in the comments. So I imagine hanging out with you in person would be good time. Throw in some crawfish. Yeah, that's right. Hey, boom, hit them with that. Still talked about it. Spotted owl tastes like chicken, brother. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Hoot owl is what Cyrus was called in the old days. Were you an old hoot owl?
No, hoot owl was a relative.
Oh. Ooh.
We did, I did go by hoot owl for a while just as a...
Jar check. We're looking good. We're about halfway through. Yeah, halfway.
A shine-a-thon. Oh, yeah. Do it like a...
Dude.
Remember, like...
That'd be sick.
When you were a kid in church, they did, like, lock-ins?
Yeah.
Did you ever do something like that? Have, like, a lock-in, just an all-nighter?
Just a 10-hour, just, yeah. That'd be cool. If you started at, like, noon on a... It is kind of cool, the concept of a bunch of people getting together. Everyone just makes a run.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, like, you get X amount of time to completely finish your run. And then raw product, or like if you had a couple different categories where it's like some's flavored, some's not. It was all ran this day. And then everyone just kind of try it and say like, yeah, this one's the best one, or this one's this.
Have a little contest for bragging rights.
Yeah, just a. I mean, and it's like 12 hours, the whole thing said and done, and you're like the next day at lunch or so, everyone's kind of on about their way.
Yeah,
you start and go through. Everyone kind of camp out, or do a camper situation, or just hang out in chairs and just stay up all night. And oh man, I could smoke some ribs or something. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Hot.
Quinn says do a 5-gallon run, so it only takes 3 to 5 hours to complete. That's too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's the problem is, especially if we're going to do the chicken run. I don't know that 3 to 5 hours. And I could be absolutely wrong about that. That may be way more than enough time to like cook the chicken, because I want to kind of try to eat it too.
Right.
But I smoke ribs at 225 for 8 hours, and they're great. They're pull off the bone, no problem. But the stills run 200, 205.
Yeah, but someone was in there saying that the steam cooks faster than smoke.
I could absolutely see that. I mean, it's super. Water boils at 212, and I couldn't imagine boiling a chicken for 5 hours. You know,
and if not, you just have the grill ready. If it's not done when the run is done, you just throw it on the grill.
I mean it right out of that pot. I'm not doing any kind of secondary nothing on it.
There's not going to be any salmonella problem.
No,
because even if it's raw,
yes, it'll be sterile.
Yeah.
You got to remember with the chicken, you'll have it under slight pressure. Oh, that's true. The pressure aspect of it.
Well, there's not much pressure.
So 5-gallon runs, that would be cool, because you could start at noon and conceivably be done that evening.
Yeah.
Because, 5-gallon run, you're talking about worst case scenario,
5 hours.
5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So if you started at noon, everything had to be in by 5. And then tasting was from like 5 to 6, decision by 7. And then like everyone's just hanging out, eating, having a good time. Yeah. Drinking. Obviously, there's going to be multiple 5-gallon runs that have just been completed, and you've only submitted like half quart or whatever for tasting.
It could be a lot of fun for sure. We'll have to,
instead of a chili cook-off. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah,
and we could also do it. We've been talking about doing,
call it Shine Down.
Shine Down. We've been talking about doing a Moonshine Festival here.
Yeah, we could.
Dude,
that'd be
someday
a cool concept
when we get that. When we get that all put together, integrate.
Yeah,
a Shine cook-off.
Well, it'd be cool too, because we can go live in front of Cyrus's still and just kind of Q&A the whole thing for everyone that's out there wasn't able to come, and maybe have some traveling cameras that go around and show everybody else, and just kind of do exactly like what we do here, but with more people around and visiting with more people and people coming up, and that'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun. We'll have to talk about that. Yep, Steam. Yep, I remember you saying that. Everyone has to bring a tent. Solves a sleeping problem.
Well, it's all cement here at the brew center.
Well, and I think too, if everyone's getting here around 10 a.m. and setting up and getting their spot ready, and everyone knows they're firing off, turning their stills on at noon.
Yeah,
and then you're done by 5.
What if somebody's like, I don't remember who it was, that driving 700 miles to do it? They're not going to want to go home that night.
No. Yeah, you're going to want to say, well, and that's the good thing about the area that Cyrus is in over here is they have camping spots, the
RV spots.
So they have, not only do they have RV spots over here in that parking lot, they've got camping spots right up here on Lake Fort Smith, and then also out on Chaffee. I don't know if that's, we'll have to talk about that. I don't know if it's only access to like disabled veterans, military veterans, and stuff like that.
I bet there's a way to work it out, though. Like,
probably
there's this whole empty lot cat-a-corner from us that if we got permission from the district here, they'd probably let us.
Generator spots?
Yeah.
But we could work it out. Yeah, and a lot of y'all are no strangers to roughing it, no strangers to the outdoors. You'd be probably just as happy if the weather was permitting and some cooler weather just to tent camp or to truck camp, or that's mainly what I do when I'm out in the deer woods and stuff is I'll just sleep in my truck most of the time. Get a truck and a tarp and you got a tent. Yeah. We can get some good food over. Man, I'm just getting excited about smoking some ribs on like big proportions out here.
Hell yeah.
There's the park at the lock. Yeah, Richard, that's the one I'm talking about.
The Lock and Dam. That's just like, what, 4 miles up the road? 3 or 4 miles?
Not even, probably. Not even by the time you get to the highway, it's not even a mile and a half. And you're only probably a mile from the highway from here, so
yeah,
it's about 2.5 miles. Negative 20 to negative 50 is wild to me, brother. I'm out. Like, I'll go to like Mulberry Mountain. I go up north and I hunt a lot during the winter, and like if I see a 1 is the first number, I just sleep in my truck. I'm over that. And again, I'm not the toughest guy in the world, but I mean, negative 20 to negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm good on that.
I'm out.
That's a different kind of cold, brother. I mean, I guess if you've got the right stuff and you're prepared for it, no big deal. But that's not anything we get here. That's nothing I've ever spent time in. So, got about 2 to 4 minutes on that jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Good call, brother.
I appreciate the jar call outs. That's probably saved us a little bit here.
Yeah, we haven't had one spillover yet.
Nothing. Don't even know how that's possible.
People are tracking it for us.
This is the first one I've been a part of where we have it spilled.
Yeah, no one's depending on us to keep track.
That's a lot of booze, brother.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes, like Clinton said.
Man, well, I just love that they're on top of that, though.
Yeah. Dang, what do we got now? We kind of beat the chicken whiskey to death.
Yeah. No, I'm glad we got on that tangent. I'm drinking some Pie Mint, batch 001, apparently. Sorry if that was like a prestigious batch.
No, it
was already open.
Yeah, it was just a number.
16% dry. Okay. Bottled 9624. This is some Pie Mint. You made this?
Or I think Bailey made that one.
Oh, okay. It's really good. Dry, like I would say, it's in between dry. I mean, it's almost a semi-sweet. Really good. 16%. Jeez.
Yeah. And
how'd y'all achieve that?
It was 1.130.
Oh, okay. Just a lot of sugar starting off. You're almost up there at that threshold of where the yeast will just kind of get
Well,
killed.
Yeah, so we started with the grape juice, which I think has like 30 gravity points, and then added 3 pounds of honey
Love that.
to
Yeah.
1 gallon.
Wow.
So,
Whew.
yeah. So that's another 105 gravity points. 3 pounds of honey to 1 gallon.
I started off with 1.15 on that like island wine that I'm making, like cranberry and pineapple, and I think it's got to be like right at 1, maybe even a little lower. It's all but kind of shut down. I need to probably get a specific gravity on it, see exactly where it's at.
Yeah, we need a rearview mirror. Yeah. Actually, we kind of have one. We have the big TV. I guess we could just look up there on the screen. We can see exactly what you guys see.
We need a shine cam, like just a separate cam that sits right on the jar.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be
There
cool.
is some software I can get to have
Like
multiple camera views. I don't know if I want to go that far yet, but
I don't know.
I don't think you spilled checking ABV earlier, did you? I've spilled a little bit, but not much. When I was doing it earlier over on that table, I don't think I've spilled during the live. This is actually pretty amazing.
The next jar is going to be around 108 proof. Any takers on the proof?
Yeah, let's guess.
I think that you are going to be under. What do you think, Cyrus?
He's been paying attention. He noticed that I turned up the heat.
Oh,
that drops
a little hotter,
a little bit
quicker.
So, like, you can from 13 to 14, I went from 132 to 126.
I think you're going to be under still.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I'm going to be in the teens.
You know what? Since we're about to pull that one off, we can test it. Everyone, okay, Clinton guessed 108. Everyone, 108.7. It sounds like a radio channel.
Yeah. KKR.
I think it only goes up to 107.9, but you guys check, or you guys guess, what's the ABV going to be on this next jar, and we'll let everyone know. And whoever gets closest gets some bragging rights. I'm going to say that it comes in at 121 is going to be my guess.
Yeah, propane, Leggedy.
Now I'm going to say 120 on the dot. 120 on the dot. I'm sticking with it. 112. What was his last two checks?
Are we
132 and 126? He turned the heat up.
Are we doing Price is Right rules? Closest without going over? Or is it just closest?
We may have to. I don't know. There may be too many guesses. 112, 112, 117, 113, 115. If you guess the same number as somebody else, you're just sharing bragging rights at that point. Everyone's hammering the 112.
Sometimes you're typing it when...
I'm going 120 on the dot.
Number 15.
Yeah, for rules, closest without going up. Yeah, okay. Better get them in there. We're about to run it and test it. 118. Lucky, I like that.
That's what I was going to go with.
Yeah. Oh, what are you going to go now? 117, 119?
So what do we got?
There's a 117 and there's a 118. There's no 119 right now.
18. No, it's going to be lower than 119. We've already got an 18 and 7. I'll go 116.
Man, I think you guys are all crazy. 120. Give me the 120. Let the kid win this one here.
Drum roll, please.
It looks like the Griswolds.
I can't tell if it's 117 or 116. Okay, so
all right, it is.
I'm going to say I'm going to send T-shirts to whoever's closest.
I would say And you tell me if you disagree, but I'm going to say 117 and a half.
Yeah, we're going to go with, we got to go with 117.
Yeah.
117. Who gets t-shirts?
Joe Goodman.
Joe Goodman gets a shirt.
He's got one coming. Scroll up. There was another 117 up there. Joe Goodman. Is it really just Joe Goodman? 117.
Ooh, Joe Goodman nailed it.
You killed it, brother.
Hey, Joe.
Lucky D said 117 and a half. You would have got it, man.
Joe, go to stillintheclear.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a tab where it says Contact Cyrus. Send me an email. Send me your address. I'm sending you a shirt.
Hope you like to do corn stuff, brother.
That was fun.
That was fun.
We should do that kind of thing more. That was a lot of fun. Little contest.
Man, I can't believe I thought I was going to nail that thing at 120. That's wild. 132, 126. Biggest drop. Oh, well, I guess the previous drop was 6. I didn't really think about that. Boom. What do you think you're going to shut it off at? 100?
No, I don't think I'm going to go all the way to 100 because I know 100 on this run is into the tails already.
Pushing.
Yeah. I might go one more jar. We'll see. I'll taste it at 100.
The next one will be about 105, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Dadgummit, Lucky D, you was right there, brother. Check halfway on this jar. Smell test. Yeah. Thanks, Clinton.
Jason said, good night, folks. 4 a.m. comes early. Brother.
See you over in MFB, brother.
It does, man. We're in the same time zone, so I feel you on that. I've got to be up fairly early in the morning to go hour and 45 minutes north to Pea Ridge. So I feel you on that, brother. Have a good one.
Yeah, I'll probably be getting up about 5:30 or 6 myself.
Which I've got to have. I don't know if it's just me getting older. And again, I'm 31, so I'm not claiming that I'm older guy or whatever. But in my older age, 3 years into marriage, I am a slave to routines.
Yeah,
it seems. And so if I get up in the morning and I don't have minimum 2 cups of coffee, I like to enjoy a cigarette on the back porch with my wife.
Yeah.
If I don't do those 2 things, my day is fucked up.
Right.
Sorry. Pardon my language. My day is jacked up if I don't get that out of the way in the morning.
Yeah.
Just have a few minutes where it's just me, her hanging out. I'm not answering phone calls or doing anything with emails or anything like that. I just need that. That's how I need my day to start.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. Winsong is kind of a night owl. She stays up.
We both are too. We just operate on very little sleep.
Yeah, part of it is she has a hard time sleeping, but then in the morning she's like you, she's got to have her coffee. She's non-functional until a couple of cups are down her.
I'm just trying to hang out.
Yeah, and I'm waking up. I'm putting socks, I'm out the door. I get up and I go and I'm working, but then 9:30 at night, I'm like, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah. And she's like, come on, hang out.
Oh, you're too complaining. 31.
You're probably not wrong, brother.
You're almost
man,
farting dust.
It's the luxury of the life I live, man. I've got my routines I like, and that's the way it is. Terry, look at all the old timers coming in here. 31, been married longer than that. Yeah, come on. Give it to me. Give it to me, guys. They're all like, damn, this guy's 31. I thought he was 45 years old. They're like, damn, you have not aged well.
Damn.
We were thinking you were 45, 50.
Still a pup.
Looking on that AARP. Lucky's not even 40. Didn't know that. Yep. Lucky struck me as someone who was mid-50s.
Older, wiser.
Literally just know you from your comments. I have no other reason to. Yeah, old, wise.
Yeah. The camera just always wants to change on its own.
It's the hand. I mean, I don't know. It's the.
Yeah, guys, I will figure out this camera. Like, this camera is much smarter than I am. It can do a lot more than I know what it can do. I'll figure things out on it, and it'll get better. I'm sorry the camera view keeps changing on its own all the time.
What do you think? We're going to cut it off for
a wise ass.
Do what?
Look at he says he's a wise ass.
Better be a wise ass than a dumb ass, my brother. What do you think? We're going to cut it off at 8 tonight? Or are we going to keep going?
I'm going to wait until about half of this jar.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do a smell and a taste test,
cool.
See where we are. And I'll decide where I'm going to run it at that point. And we'll call it then.
Okay.
If you need to go, jump up and go any moment.
I don't got anything to do.
Hand waves. There's like 5 different gestures that will make it do different things.
Like if I throw my hand up right here and make any kind of movement with them, the camera has been, which it didn't that time.
Yeah, but you're right. The camera recognizes hand gestures. And I think there's a way for me to turn them off, but I haven't figured it out yet.
It's that, it's in the, I saw it earlier in the settings, yeah.
When we were screwing around for 30 minutes trying to get the live cooked up.
It was in the camera settings.
Yeah. We were still trying to connect the live. I started at 4:30 and we were still trying to connect the live at like
3 minutes before.
4:57. Yeah.
Figured it out. My wife says the camera moves because the base is haunted. Dude, the base is haunted, though, to be honest. She's not wrong about that. I don't know that that's why the camera's moving, but the base is haunted.
Well, man, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with us this long. This is like a 3-hour live. Still got 30 people in the live, so that's awesome.
Consistent. Also, shout out to everyone in the chat who sent donos, and that was slick too.
Yeah, the super chats,
donos for chickens. And,
yeah,
dude, you'll never be able to you are the only person probably in this state that ever got a donation online that was geared towards buying a chicken.
Right. So Clinton, I didn't know, Clinton, that live was unintentional. The camera went live on its own. I was just recording videos like I normally record videos by myself. And I was so embarrassed when Richard sent me a text and said, hey, man, your live is kind of messed up or lagging or something, and realized I was live the whole time while I was just filming.
Wild.
Yeah.
Dude, that's my worst nightmare, is to be like, because it happened to me one time on TikTok where I guess my phone was just pressing buttons in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I went live on TikTok. I was in, this was back when I was
in the toilet.
No, dude. Even worse. Even worse. No. Having children. And it was like absolutely locked down.
Names.
Oh, dude. It happened one other time to my boss. He was trying a big criminal child thing, and it was in a juvenile court, and it was locked down, and he was on Facebook Live for like 10 minutes. We were calling him like, hey, like we were
like, your phone.
Dude, yeah. And then we had to send someone down to the courthouse to like burst them and be like, hey, like you're on live right now. Yeah, lucky you missed it. Someone gave us $20 to buy the chickens to put in the still when we make the chicken run or whatever we're gonna call it. I'm not sticking with that, but the chicken run sounds enticing.
The CCBR.
Clinton, yeah, it was Clinton, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then before Clinton, who? It was Jason.
It was Jason.
Yeah, Jason. Gave us a super chat too.
$5,
It's awesome.
Time to call it, dude. Terry, appreciate you being in here, brother. Thanks for coming in, man. It means a lot. Everyone's getting into.
Since I started the 45 minutes.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Dude, Joe, bring additional chickens. Let's just make, I don't know. How many gallons of chicken bourbon and tequila are we trying to make that day?
It kind of depends.
Do you bring your own chicken and your still and your own mash? It could potentially be an endless amount. We'll run with anyone, brother. Insta2 tri-clamp that you can wire a chicken to.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
That'd be cool.
We'll definitely test it out. And it would still seal?
Man, I think it'd be cool if there was some sort of something that you could either clip on or just hang on one of those fixtures or the gap that comes into it, where it's like the razor blade fixtures that they'll mount on chicken, like the fighting roosters.
I don't know.
Well, it's like this thing that they'll tape on the rooster's leg, and it comes out and it's like a fake spur for the fighting and stuff like that. Yeah. It'd be cool if they made a fixture that looked like one of those that was just known for like, hey, like you hang this in or clip this into this attachment and it's for this.
Right. Well, so I think we have a couple options. I think we're going to have to use this still because it's the one that has the most room.
Most lid up top, yeah.
So
it's almost like you'd have to hang it from the top and get the legs up in the top.
I've got these.
Get the gaff is a metal sphere. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know where
a bubble plate. It's not a bad idea either. I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to have to figure it out soon, though.
There's also this
fit in above the neck.
This valve right here. There might be a way to.
Oh, what is that up top? Like, what's above this? If you were just to like,
this is a negative pressure blow-off valve.
But is this all brass?
I don't know. I've never taken one apart.
Because it's almost like you could tack a rod to that.
Yeah. Anyway, I know we can figure it out.
We can engineer this. We'll engineer some chicken booze. Yeah, the gaff. Joe, that's what I was talking about. It'd be kind of cool if there was some way to engineer that gaff like what we're talking about that just kind of uniformly fits into the top of various different kinds of stills, whether it's a magnet situation.
Copper.
Well, but I mean, if you could get like a metal hook and then magnet on the outside.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it would like catch.
Maybe.
It'd have to be a strong enough magnet, I guess. But
that's a 4-inch tri-clamp. I guess I could just order like a 4-inch like screen gasket. Like I saw someone said like for the bubble plates. There's a way to do it.
There's a way to do it.
Yeah.
I love how we're still in this wormhole.
Yeah, Lucky was saying it. Yeah, we're still climbing down this rabbit hole.
It's all stemmed from like one guy being like, "Put a chicken in there." Next 3 hours, it's like I'm going one cut out a plate, and use 2.
Yeah, that's an idea too.
Out of the new plate, and just have hook holes drilled. Yeah, probably. Honestly.
I've got 2 weeks to figure it out. I think we can do this in 2 weeks. Is next Thursday Halloween? Are we going to have a live stream on Halloween?
Next Thursday is Halloween, and I think that I I'm actually in Northwest Arkansas that night. A lot of you guys are probably doing stuff with the kids.
I think I'm going to call it and just say I'm not doing a live next week.
And then do
I don't like
something
being
bigger
I don't like
following.
being out in town when crazy's going on.
Well, and you got to think too, because of Thanksgiving. It's almost like we can make up for it because that's also obviously on Thursday.
Right.
It's almost like we can make up for it between Halloween and Thanksgiving, like
Thank you, Chopper Freak. Appreciate it.
this 14th, which is like right in betweenst both of them here. Like this 14th.
To do what?
The chicken run.
Why not 7th?
We could do the 7th. I just didn't know if there was enough time.
I think we can figure
You got
out.
mash ready and everything, and which I know.
Oh, well, yeah, you're probably right. So I don't know when we're going to do the chicken run yet. I still got to figure out all that. I might make a special mash for it. So, yeah, to be
we could
determined.
probably do it if we want to do like a special type thing a week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I don't know if that gives us enough time, but we might be able to
probably.
do it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it. We'll put it out. You guys are following all the pages, the different communities that he's got set up. We'll put some stuff out, and we'll get a definite date down.
Lucky D, that's a 4-inch tri-clamp, and if you made something for that chicken run, I would certainly use it. You bet.
Oh yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, and if I'm smoking grain, like I don't have. If I'm also like malting it to smoke it, I don't know. Maybe I can just buy some smoked grain, make it easy. Just get some smoked grain from LD Carlson. Just be easier, probably. Chicken scratch for the mash bill. Soak it overnight and then smoke it. Yeah,
Like brine it almost. Like you're talking about the chicken.
no, it's talking about the grain.
Oh,
To smoke the grain for the smokier flavor.
Which I don't know. You may want to. I don't know, after you defeather and got that chicken, you may want to brine it. You may not want to either. I don't know. If anyone's had any actual experience doing this kind of a run, please talk now. Because I'm going to go consult the internet for, what do you think? Taylor?
Starting to get tailsy. Yep. It's that
Pick up a little, like a small
wet
amount of
cardboard
smell.
is just starting to come in.
Not a lot, though.
Yeah.
You think? Or what?
No,
I mean,
it's just we're just starting to get into tails now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. I don't even think I'm gonna run the rest of the run down for the feints because I'm just kind of ready. I'm just kind of ready to get home myself.
Only seen the videos from Mexico. Scratch grain, yeah. Brother, we are asking if you've ever hung a chicken in your pot before. I mean, until tonight, I've literally never even heard of that. I mean, my mind was absolutely blown.
Yeah, Jason, that sounds like that could work too if you have some stainless steel.
Spanish rice and fried chicken. Man, that sounds good.
All right, Richard, later. I think I'm ready to call it too. So
I think if you're done with that run, we'll probably clean up here. And
yeah, sounds good.
All right,
everybody. Thanks for joining us in the live and hanging out for 3 hours.
Super cool talking with everyone.
And yeah, so no live stream next week. I'm not going to do it on Halloween. Following week, we'll pick up right back where we left off.
Well, if Cyrus and I will talk tonight when we get off. If we end up switching anything around for next week or doing something different or moving it the next day or whatever, we'll let you guys know. He'll put something out. But it's been so fun hanging out with you guys and talking. Appreciate everybody, and thanks for being here.
Later.